I just forgot something. I need water. It's here. I just have to grab it. Hello. Now you're gonna laugh, so this is why. Nobody laugh. That, see that giant thing? That's a gallon of water. This is what I'm drinking every day now, so I had to get it. I have to have a sip because I have a lot to drink. Hang on. Okay, good morning, everybody. Oh gosh, hang on. We're still going. Let's fix that. Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. Is Terry here? I just have to ask if Terry's here. I'm just getting distracted by the chat. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday, the 25th of September. Crazy, right? The time is just flying by. So welcome to our Saturday creative listing sessions. If we haven't met before, if you haven't joined us before, my name is Lael Kankar and I have a business called Lael by Mail. And normally outside of COVID times, I travel and teach all over the US and Canada. And then in the past, I've done a lot of teaching internationally. But COVID has kind of put the brakes on that. Although I will start up doing in-person teaching again next month in October. So that's exciting. Anyhow, we get together on Saturday mornings, most Saturday mornings, and we've been doing this since March of 2020. So year and a half plus some months, kind of just as COVID started getting going, which the whole thing was kind of a fluke. I decided that I'd do a free class about traveler's notebooks that very first week that we were in shutdown here in the US, and it just kind of totally exploded. And I found for me it was a great thing for me personally to be able to just socialize with people and share my passion about traveler's notebooks. And out of that, we grew this amazing little community, and the community grows and people come and go and are here and aren't here. And it's just something I look forward to every week. So every Saturday we get together and we do what I like to call creative listing. So the day before or a couple days before, just depends on where my week is, I put out 3 different list topics, and that's what I do when we're together. I make lists, and I call them creative lists because I use stickers and washi and die cuts and pattern paper and stamps and all kinds of things like that. But for me, it's just the opportunity to be creative, and to be creative just to be creative. My business is all about being creative, so I don't get a lot of time personally to be creative. So this is my personal creative time. It's also my social time because I get to hang out with you guys. There are a lot of products that I use during our Saturday sessions. I always encourage you to use whatever you have if you're playing along. In the description of the video down below, I include links to some of the things I'm using. In some of the cases, you can find them directly from me on my website. In other cases, you can find them other places. But I always encourage you, if you have local, to shop local, because that is super important to support our small independent business owners. So that's where we are. Let's see. We have Kim. Hi, Kim. And Scarlett. I love your name, Scarlett Forever O'Hara. I remember there's a story behind that, but I don't remember what it is. I remember you told us before. And there's Karen from the Netherlands. Hi, Karen. Michelle. Now it's going fast. Susie from Louisiana. I always want to say Louisiana or Arkansas. Louisiana, right? Oh, thank you. Pretty top. The reason I asked if Terry was here, I've chatted before about how I really like this color, but sometimes it's really hard on blondes. So I saw it at TJ Maxx and I just went ahead and bought it. So I'm just doing it. I'm doing the mustard, even though, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So thank you. Scrappy Matilda hasn't been here for a while. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're back. And I remember at the very beginning, I saw someone else who hadn't been here in a while. So welcome. If you haven't been here in a while, welcome to you. If you've been here every single time, welcome to you. Thank you for always showing up. And if this is your first time, especially welcome to you, because I love first timers. I should say we love first timers. This community, we love it when we have new people. So I encourage you to pop into the chat and just say hello. Don't be intimidated. It's such a friendly bunch of people, I promise you. So if you're new, just pop in and say hello and say, newbie here. Some of you like to lurk, I know, because you tell me that. So you've been here for a while, but you've never really popped into the chat. So if you want to pop into the chat, you could say long time watcher, first time chatter. The chat, I should mention that. While I am live, there is a live chat that also takes place. I see it over on the right-hand side of my screen. Depending on what device you're watching on and what kind of view you have, you may see that in other places, but you can participate in that chat or just watch the chat go by. If you are not with us live at all and you're watching the replay, welcome, because I know we have lots of you that can't make it live because life, right? But you like to watch the replays, so welcome to you. If you want to watch the chat while you're watching the live, you can actually turn that on and kind of watch the chat. Will roll by in kind of real time as it was taking place, if that makes sense. Hi Rhonda, and let's see, Bareth. I missed Bareth's comment, but I saw Scrappy Matilda's. Looks like we have a couple Swedes on, right? And I know I saw, was it Ruth at the beginning? Maybe Ruth from the UK. Did I see Ruth? Sheila from Maryland. And I love it that you guys say where you're from, because I think that's really fun. I'm from Utah. I live in Utah. I've been here since I was in 4th grade. So for all intents and purposes, I am a Utahn. We moved here, gosh, from Texas. And prior to that, my dad was in the Navy before we moved to Utah. So we lived all over Japan, San Diego, Florida, Indiana, all over. Hi, Wendy from Canada. Yes, happy Saturday morning. Yes, Ruth's here. Awesome. Okay, friends. So, Rapid City. Nicole, I think we've talked about Rapid City before on this, haven't we? That is the most beautiful area. The Black Hills and Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse and the steam train and all of that is, if you guys have never been to South Dakota, I highly encourage you to go. It is, it's breathtaking. There's so much to see there, so much to do there. It's very cool. Lots of sightseeing. Okay, guys, so couple of housekeeping items. Oh yes, let's talk about winners. Let's talk about giveaways and winners. So last week, our little giveaway, and if you didn't know, if you're new or you forget, I do a giveaway every week because I like to do that. I think it's fun to do fun things, and giveaways are fun things. It also, though, gives me an opportunity to get to know you guys a little bit better. So for our giveaways, I ask you to leave a comment after the video is over, not during the chat, but after the video is over. And I ask you to comment on whether you're listing with us or not. One of the things that would be on your list, one of those lists. So then the next Saturday, so today, I go and randomly pick a comment, and literally I just go, whoop, and wherever my finger stops, that's the person that wins. And that person wins the prize. So for last week, I asked you guys, one of our lists last week is things that you would like to learn. And I asked you guys to leave me a comment telling me something that you would like to learn. And those were really fun to read. Knit felting, I totally forgot. Someone said that was something, felting, that I wanted to learn. And I randomly picked this person and then read her comment, and I thought it was so awesome. She said she would love to learn sign language, which is really cool. So that winner is wildflowers. So I responded to her comment. So wildflowers, if you're on, let us know. If not, I left you a reply to your comment letting you know what I need from you in order to send the prize. And this is what Wildflowers won, the Cozy Days bundle. So the 6x8 pad and the coordinating stamps. So for this week's giveaway, I have another one of our Andy prize packs. And Andy, if you are new or if you don't know, Andy is my friend that has designed the List It stamps for us. So this little prize pack has the List It 3 stamp set, with the clips. So there are actually 4 of these now, 4 different versions. List It 1, List It 2, List It 3, and mini clips. So this little stamp set, this little fun bag, that's her little logo. Isn't that cute? Her little slothy sloth. And then in there, a couple of more fun things. A sticker and a really cool, I can't remember his name, It'll come to me. This really cool little pin that says little glitter all over him. So that is this week's prize. In order to kind of participate in that giveaway, all you need to do is, once this video is over, I'll have you leave a comment on the video, not in the chat, but on the video, telling me, one of our lists today was suggested by someone earlier this week. She sent me an email and said, here's a list idea if I won the lottery. So if you won the lottery, tell me one of the things that you would do. No judging. If you decide you want to have your fingernails or toenails done every single day, that's what you want to do. You won, you do you get to spend the money on whatever you like. If you want to be philanthropic, that's okay. Whatever it is you want to do, I should say, if you want to be philanthropic, that is awesome and wonderful. But just whatever. If you want to have 10 beach houses, you put that on your comment, because we know you do other things with the money besides that. But that's, again, how I kind of get to learn, how I get to know you guys a little bit better as well, because you get to know a lot about me, because I tell you, if I won the lottery, this is everything I would do. Okay, yes, Carol, her stamps are so fun. Yeah, we love the listed stamps. We are just about finalizing. I think we're in the last, she and I are in the last kind of iteration of one of the stamp sets that she's working on for me, one of the Lail by Mail branded stamp sets, and we're about halfway through the other one and starting another one. So all related to the things that we do here on our Saturdays, on our listing sessions. So it's really fun. Let's see, Karen. Okay, I know, I have to comment, Karen. So Karen is in the Netherlands, right? Karen Boschart. And she said, love these stamps, sad not to be able to buy. Let me just explain that really quick. The EU, European Union, put a new tax law into effect on July 1st. That if you are outside of the European Union as a business owner, business person, as a business, you have to pay taxes. And that is something brand new. So I pay taxes in the US, right? We're used to paying taxes as a business, but not used to paying taxes, European taxes. That's a whole other ball of wax. And they added a couple of extra really complex layers in there where you can't actually do it yourself. You have to have a third party do any, long story. So right now, and it's the case with a lot of small businesses, especially in our little crafting industry, our hands are kind of tied in terms of being able to sell anymore to the EU. The UK did that actually the beginning of January, but EU is a little bit more recent, so sorry. Okay, so Kim, I love it. Kim said, that's easy. I had arranged to have happy mail from Lail every day. And so if that's the case, I might have to change one of the things on, if I won the lottery list, I might have to hire more people, which should be on my list anyway, right? To hire more people. Okay, guys. Yes, Karen, I'm so sorry. Karen said they are gone mad. It's hard to get things. And I only imagine it's making it hard for you in the EU to get all kinds of things. Because if you order anything outside of the EU, it's anybody outside the EU, any business. So if you are in, I don't know, if you want to buy something from Russia, it's probably difficult. Or Australia, or South America, or really anywhere. So I'm sorry. Maybe after a while, they'll kind of figure out a way to make it a little bit easier for us and you. Okay. So, I think you guys, I think we're ready to get going. I have new lights. My new studio lights came in and I'm excited about those. So, Nick, my husband, did remind me that I need to treat them properly, because usually I just yank on them. If I need them to adjust, I just yank on the big, like this big thing. Here's one of them, this big old light, but I just kind of yank on this to get it to go where I want. Well, my last ones, after 6 years, all the screws or all the things got stripped, so that's why they wouldn't stand up straight. So excited about that. We should have lots of good lighting today. What else? I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. I'm going to flip the camera and then I will turn on the lights, and then I'll also plug in after I flip the camera. So I'm going to flip. Hang tight, because if you get a little dizzy, you just want to, I always say, arms and legs inside the ride at all times, because we're going for a ride like Disneyland. Kind of like the teacups. If you hate the teacups like me, then for sure close your eyes, because the teacups make me... All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, spin. Good morning, Scrapbook Sister 70 from Philly. All right, let's see. How are we looking there? I'm on about a 10-second delay, I think. So it takes a bit before I can see to make sure that we're that we're not crooked. Let's not be crooked. Crooked's not good. All right, let me just adjust. I was doing a, oh, I know. I was taking photos yesterday of my flat lay. That's what this is called when I take a photo, so you guys can see, it's my little marketing photo. But I had my lights set for that instead. So let me just make a little adjustment here. And see, okay, we're good there. Let me adjust this one. So how is everybody today? Saturday, it's a beautiful day here in Utah. I think we're supposed to be about low 80s today, so it's nice and it feels more like a summer Saturday a little bit than, ow, that was weird. Feels more like a summer Saturday a little bit than a fall Saturday, but I will take it. College football, our University of Utah Utes are playing today, this afternoon. They are not doing well at all. So let's hope they have a little bit of a better outcome today than they have so far this season. Anybody follow college football? Oh, I know. And then I know the Ryder Cup is on this weekend. That's golf because my husband Nick is very into golf. He's golfing today. Oh, Foxes. I know, S. Jameson, the Foxes. And of course, okay, look at, if you guys didn't see these, I mean, hello, really? This, like, fall, and there's two of my very most favorite animals on here. Squirrel, and we all know why, right? Because Leo likes to squirrel when we do our Saturday sessions, or really when I do anything, I like to squirrel. And then the owls. My grandmother, her like favorite animal was an owl. So owls have always had a really special meaning to me. So I love those little stickers. Today, you guys were playing with a new collection, new to me, also new company to me. The company is called Pretty Little Studio. And I cannot tell you guys how excited. It's not a new company. They've been around for a while, but one that I placed a really large order, a really large one with them a month ago. And a month ago, yes, it took a while because they were producing. What's really neat, and normally with a company, it doesn't take a while, but this company, small business, woman-owned, everything they do is made in the U.S. So all their stickers and their paper and their die cuts. So I think in some cases they're printing on demand or, working on demand. I tell you guys, I have so many good things from them, so many incredible Christmas things, so many great everyday things. Just a little hint for those of you that have been asking about the project kit for 2022, the kind of the year in review, the about last month project kit that I'll do for 2022. It will be using a lot of Pretty Little Studio. And Melissa, who I think owns that. I think Melissa's the owner. She's the one I've been communicating with, so I assume she's the owner. But I have some really fun things up my sleeve with her, so very excited. All right, I know Scrapbook Sister 70. So they're small, definitely a smaller company because. Well, yeah, definitely a smaller company. So, but I love a lot of what they do. I've kind of been watching them for a while and thought, you know what, I need to bring some of their products in because I like them. So Indian Summer is one of the collections that we will be using, and that's what I'm going to use for my first list. Beautiful here in Philadelphia. Okay, Scrapbook Sister, isn't it supposed to be like sunny in Philadelphia? Always sunny in Philadelphia. Isn't that a movie or a show or something? Yes. Carol, okay, hold on. Carol just finished a Traveler's Notebook. Wonderful. Kylie in Michigan, it's 64 and rainy. Ooh, you know what? Summer, I love rain all year round, but when it's the fall, it's just something about it. And Roll Tide, is that Alabama? Alabama? Oh gosh. If it's not Alabama, then I'm sure it's a Roll Tide. Or Cornhuskers? I don't know. I follow football, but mostly Pac-12 because we're part of the Pac-12. I know the big guys, but I don't know all their things like that. Wolverines, okay, awesome. Oh, Fiona DeVos. Okay, Fiona. Voss is a fox. Very good. I did not know that. Oh my gosh, Denise, it's snowing in Fairbanks. Holy cow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. Go Tigers. And Susie, I love that. Love the way that the go, right? That's a total Louisiana thing, right? Spelling all the words with the E-A-U-X. That's so fun. All right, Alabama Roll Tide. I got it. Look at me. I got it. Okay, good. Don't ask me anything else. Well, I know a lot about football. Well, I don't know. A lot is relative, right? If you know a lot about anything. Just I watched it a lot when I was a kid. Well, a kid, I guess, with my parents, right? That was kind of one of my best memories is like probably Sunday night football, Monday night football, because back then there was no Sunday night. Anyway, you know what I mean. And then both of our boys played football all growing up. So I can watch the game and totally understand what's going on. Don't ask me what the difference is between a wide receiver and a left guard and a right guard. And well, left guard and right guard, I understand. One's on one side of the quarterback, one side's on the other, and they guard yeah. Anyhow, let's see. Lovely plans in Palm Springs. You got rain. Now, I bet, oh no, super dry. So you guys probably need the rain, right? But still hot. Colleen, I plugged it in. Yes, thank you. The Buckeyes in Ohio. Okay, good. Yep, I know M Go Blue. I do know that. And Joanne doesn't watch football or golf, and that's okay. That is A-okay. We all have our thing, right? Okay, so for our first list today is favorite fall foods. Oh my goodness. So this is funny. Guess what I don't have in front of me? I don't have the most important thing, which is my traveler's notebook. So that's funny. A few minutes ago, like maybe 10 minutes before we started, I'm like, okay, do not disturb is on. I have my phone, the charger ready to plug in. The lights are ready. The mat that I stand on so my feet don't hurt. All of that's ready to go. And I'm like, oh, I need my traveler's notebook. And then that was the one thing that I forgot. So hang tight while I locate that, friends. Because I can't get far without that, can I? Now I have to retrace my steps. What in the world? It's not on my little cart. Oh, and you know what? I didn't even take photos of anything this week, so it wouldn't be somewhere else. Where, oh, where has my little dog gone? Okay. All right, bear with me. Bear with me a second. Go to the potty or go get a drink if you need some coffee or whatever your drink of choice is while I keep looking. I did several online classes today. I'm teaching at a virtual retreat this weekend, so stuff is kind of all over the place. I'm still here, just looking. I'll find it, and if not, I won't start a new one. Oh wait, is this it? Yay, it was in hiding. Okay, it was in hiding. It was just tucked down. So glad we found that. That's good. Oh yes, and I know the USC Trojans, Kathy, because, well, if my friend Shirley Winslow, not Wilson, is listening, she and I talk about the Trojans and the Utes when we see each other because they are rivals, both Pac-12. S. Jameson, I sing that about my brain these days. Where has my little brain gone? Right? Ay. Nancy, glad you're here. Okay, so, and I'm going to talk about what Shirley said in just a second. I don't even know where my mind was. When we start out, I always like to take a look at our lists from the prior week. Because I know some of you don't make it every week, and so we like to take a look at those. So last week we did 3 lists. We did things I'm looking forward to this fall, things I want to learn, and favorite kids cereals. And oh my gosh, seriously, that seemed like forever ago. So we started with this one, things I'm looking forward to this fall. And we used the, oh my gosh, so incredible Simple Stories Country Harvest collection. This one flew off the shelf so fast, and it was the first time. Well, I had used it to design a layout class for a virtual class I'm teaching next Friday at the Firefly Farm event, virtual event, but I had not really looked at most of the product yet. So when I pulled this out, I'm like, oh my gosh, because the teal, it was just, loved the product. So it went really fast. I made a quick reorder with Simple Stories. There's a little story there, but we won't get into that. Made a quick reorder, and the 6x8 pads went, I think, before I was even done. Now, Simple Stories is sold out of the 6x8 pads from Country Harvest. I'm trying to find some more here and there because some of you told me that you still want them. So, news at 11 on that, but I have at least a handful more coming in. But this we had fun with, things I'm looking forward to this fall. This is always a good list. I like to do this type of list when we roll into a new season. So anytime we roll into a new season, what am I looking forward to? And those were some of the things that I'm looking forward to this fall. Hi, Wendy. Let's see. And Dachira. Oh yes, you know what? I remember, I can see your little tiny profile picture. That's like half the size of a penny, but I remember you because I see your little picture. All right. So there we go. That was things I'm looking forward to this fall. This one, things I want to learn. This one, well, I had fun. I have fun with all of them, right? I have fun with all of them. But this was kind of just looking at what are the things about us that we would like to learn. Some of the things were a little bit more artsy, like I want to learn how to knit, or I want to learn how to use Photoshop better. I am a Photoshop hack. I know enough to be dangerous, or I know enough as much as YouTube tells me when I go to Google how to do something. But other things were more things I want to learn how to do better for myself, like how to have more balance and how to have more patience and how to make small talk, because believe it or not, that's something that's really hard for me. Not here, not when I teach, it's not at all. It's more one-on-one. So we also we used Q-tip. I used a Q-tip this time. We used a little trick that some of you had talked about last year, a long time ago, about when you're stamping and you have a little space where maybe the impression didn't quite be as even as you'd like on your stamp. So we just used, and I had that happen on accident, and I just used a little Q-tip to fill in with my ink where it wasn't quite where it needed to be. Last list was, this one. This was fun. Favorite kid cereals. So you would look at this, and this doesn't say anything about cereal at all, right? And that's okay. Not all of your lists, if you're listing, have to be super literal, right? One of our lists today, like I talked about, is things I would do if I won the lottery. Well, I don't have to have green paper with dollar signs all. I mean, I can if I want, right? But I don't have to. So this one, we had fun doing some masking with a stamp. So I masked out this little center area here, and when I say masked out, basically I covered it up so that I could stamp all around it, and then I pulled up my mask, or what I had used to cover it up, and then that's all white. So that is the background of what this was with no stamp on it. So we had fun with that. And then there is my little list. So my list was in a library pocket. My favorite kids cereals. Oh, we had fun with that one, talking about just what our favorite kids cereals were, and oh my gosh, do you remember this one, and do you remember this one? And a couple people in the chat brought up cereals that were like, I totally forgot about that. That needs to go on my list. So, okay, really quick. So, and I have a couple things to answer. Hi, Wendy. Pamela said, did you practice your handwriting? It's so pretty and unique. Pamela, it's evolved over the years. It has evolved. I know Heidi Swap talks a lot about, she even has online classes about practicing your handwriting. So I think because mine has evolved so much over the years, I mean, it's probably been, a 20-year evolution. But if your handwriting is something that you really don't like or you want to change, it definitely practice. And I haven't taken Heidi's class, but I'd recommend any class from Heidi Swap because she is a genius. But She has workbooks that you can print out as part of that class, just on practicing and kind of identifying, I think, what you like about your handwriting and what you don't, and just working on it. To me, though, anything that anything that we do, anything that I do, and this is another you do you, but for me, handwriting I think is so important. And I don't mean what it looks like or really whether it's legible or not. If you think back to, if you have a recipe card from anyone in your family, dad, mom, grandparent, aunt or uncle, relative, family friend, whatever it is, if you have a recipe card or you have something from them that is in their writing that is so personal and that's so much a part of who they are. When you see that recipe card for your grandma's chocolate chip cookies, you don't look at it and go, oh my gosh, her handwriting was horrible. Look at her S's. They don't even look like an S. My S's wouldn't look like. I'd spend time. You don't do any of that. You think, oh my gosh, look at that recipe. Her chocolate chip cookies, I love. That memory is so important. But then her handwriting, oh my gosh, that's her. It's like she's here. So if you want to work on your handwriting, do it. But don't be afraid to use your handwriting because it's so much a part of who you are. And I promise you, your family, your friends, co-workers, whatever it is, one day will be looking at something you've written and go, oh my gosh, that is Julie. Look at it. That is Julie. I have a friend that I worked with for a really long time years ago at AT&T. She and I both had our first children together within 6 months of each other. She was a good friend of mine, and she was killed in a very tragic accident at our work. But she had, and I still have it to this day, every Christmas, she would bring in sugar cookies to the office, and they were Anne's sugar cookies. And that reminds me, I have the goosebumps right now. That reminds me so much of her. She, one year, gave me a plate of sugar cookies for Christmas with a handwritten recipe. And I still have that, and I still cherish that. So just think about some of those things. When you think about your handwriting and you think, you know what, I don't like it. Get over it. Either practice to make it better if you want to make it better or different, or just use it because it is so, so meaningful. That's my squirrel, and I will get off my soapbox now. That's a very long answer to your question. Robin said she took Heidi Swap's handwritten class and she loved it. Okay, hold on. Let me just go back. Trailer. Let's see. Oh, okay, Mary. And Mary brought up a good point. She said, just clicked like because I remember how much I like these videos. Yes, thumbs up, you guys. If you, if you're here, hopefully you're here because you like it. Thumbs up. If you give the video a thumbs up, that's super important to the way that all the stupid social media algorithms work. Bottom line is the more that you chat and the more you interact, the more you comment on the video, the more you like it, the more people that get to see it because YouTube says, oh, you know what? People seem to like this. Maybe we should suggest this to other people, and that's how lots of you find me. Okay, so Lynette goes through periods where she practices a lot and then not for a while, and then she's back to it. Right, I think that's one of those things. It's probably a lifelong thing. Nancy, cursive is a lost skill of most youth, unfortunately, and you know what? That is so true. Our younger son, Sam, probably when he was, I don't know, maybe 13, came home from school with a note from a teacher and said, Mom, can you read this for me? And I'm like, what do you mean? You can read. And he goes, I don't know how to read this because it was in cursive. So not only are our kids, and when I mean our collective kids, at least in the US, they're not being taught cursive anymore. They're not being taught how to write it. And then obviously they're not being taught how to read it. And that is definitely a lost art. Yeah, and technology, exactly. I mean, half of our kids don't even know how to write their, well, not that much, write their letters because they're texting all the time, right? Or typing on their computer. Kylie said, my dad's handwriting is something I cherish. Any piece of paper, no matter what he wrote, I cherish. You know what? Absolutely. Like I said, it's someone's personality, and you can recognize, you can see that. I can see my mom's handwriting and I know that's her. Absolutely. S. Jameson is trying to work on overcoming perfectionism, and writing in scrapbooks is definitely something that irks me. Okay. There you go. Lauren said, make it fun. Buy a variety of pens and write everything. If you are used to making to-do lists on your computer, just get out a piece of paper and write it on a piece of paper. Just so you're, working on it, practicing. Nancy, I write every day because it makes me feel good. And when my girls see it, they are always telling me how pretty it is. So I write them love letters that they love. I love that. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. Those were our 3 lists from last week, and I always in each video. So this week, I will always list the products I'm using this week, and then I also show the products, I link to the products I listed again last week, because some of you are seeing them for this first time. Okay, now let's get going. All right, so our first list is, let's turn my page over here on my little cheater sheeter. Favorite fall foods. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to use Indian Summer. Indian Summer is a good, it's a wonderful collection. It's a great fall collection. But for some of you you love your pinks, you love your pastels, you love your oranges and your yellows, but you don't like them to be as muddy, maybe as, and not necessarily muddy, but this is what I mean, difference, right? Fall over here with Country Harvest, but this is also fall. These colors, these patterns can also be fall, right? So I thought it'd be fun this week to do a fall list using entirely different, I'm a little bit more of a non-traditional color spread or color scheme. So I have pulled out quite a few of the papers from the Indian Summer collection. Of course, yellow, because you guys know how much I am all over yellow. I thought this one could kind of be fun too. To me, and I love the blue. You guys know how much I love my blue, my navy. But, oopsie, earring off. If I put the navy and the yellow together, that seems a little bit more summery to me. So I think if I do the yellow with some of this light blue mixed in and some of this yellow and then some of that pink kind of mixed in, that is kind of your classic Indian Summer, right? Indian Summer, I don't know if that's terminology that is used around the world, but definitely here in the US, that is kind of the period between summer and fall. Really where we are right now, where it's still warm, but the leaves are changing and you know that, fall is on its way. Well, fall is already here, but when I say fall is on its way, I mean fall is like the weather fall. Well, the traditional weather fall. I know some of you, like if you're in Southern California, it's kind of summerish all the year long. All right, so couple different patterns, but I think it may be these two. This one I have to show you though. Look at what's on here. Look at the little fox. Isn't that so cute? Those little like kind of geometric foxes. Foxes, yeah, foxes. Foxy, foxeye, foxes, yes. And then, just to show you, here are some, this is the way you see. There are the different papers in that collection. So, good transition. Good transition from both summer to fall. Oh, okay, hold on. That one. All right, it's those 3. It's those 3. And then I will pull in some elements that, like some leaves and things that will make it still fall. All right. Okay. So let me get these guys. Oh, this one I loved too. This one's a little bit harder to see, but you guys will know why I like this. If you know me, you know how much I love my word strip stickers, right? This is like one giant piece of word strip sticker paper. And I love those little watercolor, like little just watercolor dabs that are highlighting particular words. Oh, I'm so excited to show you guys more from this company. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's get some of these other papers out of the way so we have room to work. This one I think is so fun too. All right, so in the chat, if you are chatting, what are you looking, we already did what I'm looking forward to this fall. What are your favorite fall foods? Favorite fall foods? I have lots of them that I'm not eating right now because I'm trying to not trying. Do or do not, there is no try, Yoda says, right? So I'm not trying, I am focusing on my health. And I feel like 1,000 million times better, but it's a process. So we're getting there. All right, 2-page list. So my list is going to be on this side. And then over here, I'll be doing some little things. I think this guy, I don't know, yellow may be going to the wayside. I think I need those two together. And then I'll incorporate some, actually, I'm going to flip, not flop. I'm going to flip like this. Yes, that will work. Okay, let's grab our trimmer out. And let's have a big drink of our gallon jug of water first. Chili, yes, Rhonda on my list. Pecan pie, ooh, Carol. Yum, yum. What else do I see there? Goulash, pumpkin pie, apple spice cake, savory pot pies. Ooh, Mandy, apple picking, baked apple pie, and apple crisp. I'm really glad I don't live near you, Mandy, because I'd be all over that. All things pumpkin spice. Yeah, chocolate chip pumpkin bread. Isn't it interesting how seasons change, that all of a sudden, and it may be, 90 degrees where you are year round, but there's something about fall, at least in the northern hemisphere, because I think fall in the it's autumn in the southern hemisphere. Autumn in the southern hemisphere is different, right? Because you're heading into, is autumn in the southern hemisphere like spring in, I don't know. Let's just keep going. All right, so the papers that I'm using from Pretty Little Studio are 8x8. So it's kind of similar to the 6x8s that I usually use in pads, but they do 8x8. So that's what we're playing with. And my inserts are standard wide. So let's take a quick peek. This would be a standard size insert. Standard is 8.25 tall by about 4.33 inches wide, okay? So that is standard. Standard wide is also 8.25 inches tall, but it is wider, hence the name standard wide. So instead of 4.33, it is 5 inches wide. So when you're working on a spread like I am today and like I do frequently, that extra basically 3/4 of an inch on difference on both pages gives you about an extra 1.5 inches in your spread. That's why I like to use standard wide. No, nothing wrong with one or the other or both. A lot of times I know people do, and sometimes I will intermix both in one of my traveler's notebooks. So I bring all that up because if my page is 5 inches wide, I like to have a little bit of a white border around. And I already have accounted for that on a paper that it's 8 inches tall, right? Because if my insert is 8.25 and my paper's already 8, that'll give me a little white border all the way around. So if I'm 8.25 by 5 and I want a little border all the way around, I will trim this guy to 4 3/4. That will be the base of my page, and that will give me a little white border all the way around the edge. Sausage bread. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. Interested in what that is. Oh, soups. Yes, lots of people talking soups. Autumn is autumn. It's just a different time of year. Oh, okay, good, Mary. That's funny. I'm sure I'm being totally blonde. Autumn is autumn. It's just a different time of year. And well, I guess that would make sense, because if not, you'd call it spring, right? Or they'd call it spring. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, you guys know you get what you get with me, right? I don't pretend to be smart or anything. Oh, Lordy. Fresh apple cake. Ooh, butternut squash. Yes, 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 squash. Kabocha squash. I don't know what that is. Kabocha. I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell us. All right, so that is my left page. And then for my right page, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I will trim off the little bottom strip because I don't need that on there, right? And then I will make this 4.75 or 4 3/4 inches wide. So there are the 2 pages of my spread. Now, usually when we're working with the 6x8 paper, that's usually what I work with, is 6x8 paper from a 6x8 pad. We have a little bit less wide than this, right? Now look at these awesome wide pieces. Okay, hold on, Kylie. Yes, I know they're opposite. Australia is going into spring and our winter is their summer. I just was confused about the autumn and the spring. Ay, Leo. Ay. Okay, So a little bit wider. So I definitely want to save these because I could totally use this on a list. I could use it just like right here on a list and then put the rest of my list right here. So if you are working, whether you're working with 12 by 12s or 6 by 8s or 8 by 8s, totally save your extra paper because that's totally usable. All right, so I'm going to end up working, doing my list directly on the papers first, and then when I'm done, I will add them to my insert. So I need some white cardstock. Okay, and think for a second. My white cardstock, I always use 8.5 by 11. The reason I use 8.5 by 11, if my inserts are 8.25 by 5, my 8.5 by 11 paper, 8.5 by 11, right? So if I trim this from 8.5 to 8.25, that is now the height of the inserts that I use, the standard white inserts I use. If I trim that into two 5-inch pieces, 5-inch pieces, there we go. That is now the size of my inserts, and I can get 2 of those out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with very little waste, right? Just those 2 pieces of waste. Whereas if I was using a 12 by 12, I have kind of some extra pieces, right? I end up with a little bit more waste that way. So I like the 8.5 11. That's just Nina white cardstock, and I get that from Amazon, and I have it linked in the description. So generally, I always start this way with a piece of 8.5 by 11, and then I start trimming down from there, just depending on what I'm doing with my list. So one thing I need to be mindful of here, I have a photo planned, and it's actually a photo that has 4 photos on it. I printed this morning from my Epson PictureMate PM400 printer, and that is the printer that I use probably for 98% of my projects. If I'm printing something really large, I have a large format printer, so if it's larger than, well, that's a whole other story. If it's really like larger than 5 by 7, I use another printer, with one exception when I print a full Traveler's Notebook page. The Epson PictureMate PM400 printer has a free app that goes along with it for your phone. It's called the Epson Creative Print. And the Epson Creative Print, and there's lots of different free apps out there that can do something like this, but it has templates that you basically pull up the app on your phone, and then you pick a template. So the template that I picked looked exactly like this without the photos, but it actually had room right in here. Just going to draw this, but not quite. It had room. What's going on? I think my pen is dried out. It had room for actually 2 more photos here. So 1, 2, this would be like 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are 2 by 2 photos. So I pulled up that template, and instead of adding photos to that spot and that spot, I knew I didn't want to have something that large for my spread because that wouldn't fit, right? I knew I just wanted the 4 up. So instead of having to get fancy in Photoshop and knowing, what I needed to do, I just opened up that template, picked the one that had 6 2 by 2s, and just put photos into 4 of the 2 by 2s. So this guy, I am going to now cut off the 2 photos that I didn't use. I didn't put anything there. Now, we've talked about this before, and some of you were like, well, that's a total waste. It is, right? I was in a hurry. That's a total waste. What I would do, actually, if I wasn't in such a hurry, what some of you would probably do if we were smart, right, would be to use this template, put the 4 photos there that we wanted to use for our list or our project, our scrapbook page, our mini book, whatever we were doing, but then put 2 other photos here. So they weren't wasted. Then you cut that off, and then you have 2 other photos. I didn't waste my, that way you're not wasting your paper. Mary said, are those your photos or Google? Those are Google photos. And Mary brings up a very good point. I've talked about this before. I like to use photos in some of my lists. I'm a memory keeper, right? I'm a scrapbooker. That's what I am. That's what I do. And I've been doing it for almost 25 years now. So photos are a big part of my life. But on a list like this, I don't have photos of any of those things. I don't have a photo of a fancy pumpkin spice latte. I don't have a photo of a bowl of chili. And if I had photos of any of these things, I guarantee you they would look nowhere near this nice. But I still want photos in my list because it's very representative and it's visual. So when that happens and I'm like, ooh, I want to use photos, I go to Google and I Google chili. And there are tens of thousands, if not probably millions, of photos of chili. And so I find the one I like, I right click on it, I save it to my phone. So now it's just a photo on my phone and I can use it however I would normally use a photo that I had taken. So those are 4 of the things on my list. And before anyone tells me that that cotton candy is not a food, it absolutely is. Do you put it in your mouth and chew it? Then it's a food. So it's on my list as one of my favorite fall foods. Love it, love it, love it, love it. What actually kind of made these 4 photos work together? So if you are pulling photos, or they're even your let's try that again. Or they're even your own photos. Maybe they're not photos that you've borrowed from Google. And that's absolutely fine to do, by the way, as long as you're not publishing those photos like in a magazine, then you can use photos for your own personal use, absolutely. But what made these, there are a couple things here that made these 4 photos kind of work together. Number 1, they're all taken on brown backgrounds. So see, there's wood grain there, there's wood there, there's wood there, and there's also wood there in the background. The other thing, yes, I know, Nancy, mix it with peanuts. Absolutely. I'm 100% with you. I love that. Candy corn with peanuts together is so good. There are a couple more things, though, that make all of these photos go together. And I just pulled the photos individually to add to my list. Another thing, circles. So both of those go together because there's circles on here. Triangles. There's a triangle and a triangle there. White. Each of these photos has white. There's a white on the candy corn tip. There's a white on the chili. Sour cream on the chili. That's cream or foam on the latte, and then whipped cream there. So a couple of different ways that they're entirely different foods, but I made all 4 of those photos kind of blend or work together just by looking for things in the photos that I was picking that would make them all just kind of work together. They all also have different tones of orange, right? Super bright, more of an orangey kind of tan color, orangish red in the chili, and then of course orange in the pumpkin. All right, so let's take, we're not quite ready yet. Oh, I know where I was headed with that. The reason I pulled the photo out was because, and that printer I also have linked in the description of the video down below. Okay, so the reason I started all that conversation was because, let's talk about a couple of things. Remember when I originally said I was going to put this on this side and this on this side? And I went, oh no, I want to switch that up. The reason I wanted to switch that up is I plan to put this photo over here. Now, there'll be a white background, so you'll only see a little bit of that pattern. But there's a lot going on this really pretty paper, a lot of color, and there's a lot of flowers. So that is what made me go, oh yeah, no, I want to switch it because I knew this was going here, and this will be a lot more tame than what I have going on over here, if that makes sense. All right, my white background. So I need a white background to go here. And I needed to bring in the photo first because I need to make sure that I still have room for my photo as I'm picking the background. And this is where I will write my list. So I think we're probably about right there and about right there. Let's see how we do. So that ends up being a little, it's about 4 by 7. So that will go there and it will give me a nice background around my pattern paper. And then my list. So look what I did after all of that. And actually, I don't need the white there, maybe. Yeah, I need it. So I will use this for this side. It's actually it needs to be a little wider, right? So that was about 4. Let's go to, what happens if let's start at 4 1/4 by 7. And this is all just changing because I'd like there to be a little bit more white around, there we go. All right, that will go there, like so. And then over here, this will be where I will do most of my list. Okay, let's get out our, let's get this out of the way so we have room to work. So we have room to work. All right. Go ahead and put this guy down right there. Ooh. Okay, I have a little bit of, looks like just a little bit of makeup on my, no, I don't put makeup on my fingers. Clearly I had rubbed my face or something, but let's just try to get, oh, it'll be fine because my photo will go over the top of that. Like that. All right, and then over here, let's go ahead and put this guy down. Yes, that is a great thing to go on your Christmas list. That printer, I tell you guys, it is, I know some of us fight with printers. I know that, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this. I've been scrapbooking, memory keeping, whatever you want to call it, for 25 years. And it's been my job in one way or another, whether design teams or working for manufacturers or now my own business, probably for about 15 of those 25 years. And I have struggled with printers over the years with the best of them, with just like you guys. And this is just good. I don't work for Epson or anything. It's awesome. Okay, so I need to do my title here. So this guy, not quite sure where this is going to go yet. It may end up being in the middle because I may end up doing title up here and then a little, maybe just a tad bit of journaling down here. We'll see. I do know that this little guy, oh gosh, now I don't know, because look at this little owl, so fun. There are a number of different die cut packs with this collection, so that would be cute. Now, I know we don't take it literal. I don't eat owl. I don't eat fox. Just because this is about favorite fall foods doesn't mean that I can't use fun things like that. If I wanted to be more literal, I could put something like that on there, right? Because that kind of goes with that. There are some little pumpkins that are part of this. So if I wanted to do a little pumpkin somewhere, I could do that. Gosh, now I don't know because now I love him. Oh, he needs to be there. And then so something about why he works well there, and I'm just saying he's a he, is because the blue in his scarf now ties this whole spread together because we have blue in that plaid, but we don't have any blue over here. So that kind of helps to pull everything together. Hi, oh yeah. Nicole just got it. She loves it. Awesome. Kim, there you go. Kim said that printer was one of the best purchases I've ever made in my scrapbooking life. Yeah, it's a game changer, and it's so easy to use. It's so easy to use. All right, there we go. Now, over here. So what I thought I would do was I pulled out a couple of different colors of Distress Oxide. I thought that I would stamp the title, and I thought I would stamp part of the title or the whole title, and I'm not quite sure yet. So I need to see because loving could work, right? We're loving the food, loving the fall foods, right? Actually, I would like it up there, but if my title's up here, I don't want words. So this will kind of go down here, I bet. We'll see. We'll see where that works. Maybe there. Special could work too. Special. All right. So let's look at our title. Favorite fall foods. I think I want to emphasize foods a little bit more than fave and fall. So I will probably use fave instead of favorite. We'll see. So I thought what I would do is I've pulled out a whole bunch of letter stickers over here. These are my Doodlebug and Bella Boulevard alphas that I all keep together. Oh, that could be interesting. What do you guys think? I mean, that really would pull in a lot of blue. it would pull in a lot of blue. Now, it's a different blue, right? It's not the same blue that's here, but you get a little bit of that navy that's over here. So that could maybe work. And then if that worked, I could use maybe the dot stickers to do my list over here. What do we think? So Susie said blue. Oh, and Lynette said, okay, so Lynette brought up a very good point too. Lynette said you could ink the edges of your white papers with the blue also to tie it all together. And I could totally do that. Maybe what I'll do, let's just play. Well, that's what we always do, but let's play a little bit with that thought. I'm going to grab my swatch, my little swatch book. This is a swatch book that I made of my Distress Oxides. So let's get to the blues and see what we have. If you have inks, friends, inks, colored pens, colored pencils, it's a really good idea to swatch because look how easy it is now for me to go, okay, what works? So tumbled glass would actually work kind of with over there, but then it's not really tying in the blue, is it? Oh, I bet I know what I need to use. Okay, hang on. All right, here's some navies, but there's one more that I might want to pull out. Although chipped sapphire, faded jeans, but there's one more. Oh, it's downstairs. I won't grab it. I have more oxides that very nice Mr. Tim Holtz sent to me. And one of them is Prized Ribbon. And Prized Ribbon is one of, it is actually the newest color that he came out with, but it's downstairs, so I won't go get it. So let's decide between faded jeans and chipped sapphire. Let me get those ink pads out of my little storage here. Faded jeans and chipped sapphire. So what I am going to do, and this would be good for me, you guys, because you know, I totally gravitate towards these two. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Just hang on. It'll only take me 2 seconds to run downstairs and get Prized Ribbon, because I think we need to see it. I'm coming. I grabbed one more thing while I was at it. This is a project I have waiting for Lily to do, to finish swatching all of these. So here's Prize Ribbon. What I grabbed though at the same time, I thought this might be interesting. I still need to do a blog post about this. This is how I swatched all of these. Well, actually, I had Lily swatch all of these. But this is how I did it. I had her do it. I used my Misty, and the Misty sits in the same spot, or sorry, the stamp I used, now I'm out of breath. Whoo, okay. I shouldn't have run up and down the stairs. This was the stamp I used. It was a Carrie Bradford stamp, and cut all the cardstock to the same size, and then basically put cardstock there, secured it down with the little magnets, inked that up, pressed down. One is swatched. Clean that off, new piece of cardstock, ink it with the next color, press down. So if you are swatching, if you have a Misty, it makes it super easy because you're always in the same place. You don't have to have it, but, and really any kind of stamp that you can see enough of the color. I think that's the best way to, at least for me, to see what's going on. All right, so let's just look at Prize Ribbon. And somebody said Prize Ribbon might be too bright. And then somebody else says faded jeans. Joanne said I have to make swatches for my inks. Maybe one of these nights while sitting and watching TV. Or one of these days while you're with me. I haven't swatched this one yet. So let's just do this. try to get a good idea. I think you're right. And it's not like super like, bright. Colleen, I don't remember offhand which set it's from. So if you will shoot me an email, I will tell you that particular stamp of Carrie's, what it came from. But I think you're right. I think it's just it's too vivid. Maybe vivid is the word. So faded jeans. I think faded jeans might be it. Okay, so now that I've picked a color, I think faded jeans. Now that I've picked a color, I need to pick some alpha stamps. So let's look at, no, that's not what I was doing. What we were doing is we were going to play with what it looked like if we were to ink the edges. So I'm grabbing a couple things here. My foam blending tool. So foam blending tool is a little handle, and then and it has Velcro, and then you attach the little foam blender, the domed foam applicator, and then that's the handle, I guess, whatever. Anyhow, because they both have Velcro, they just stick right on like that. I am going to get a new one out, just a new little applicator, dauber, and put that on. I need a little other tool here so this doesn't move around a lot on me. Okay, so let's play for a minute. Let me grab, we'll just use this cardstock to play on. Let's grab I need another piece. Actually, we'll use one of these. All right, so if I just blend, so I'm going in a circular motion like that to get some ink on my little applicator there. This is what, and now I can't remember who suggested it. This is what she was suggesting, that I could come in with ink and blend ink on the edges, right? So that would really pull in that color. That would help to kind of pull in the color of the alpha stickers. So let's try to look and see what that would look like. Do we like it? Should we just do it? Okay. Ink pad holder, Evilicious Crafts. Okay. 2 places you can find it. It is made by the Inkstand Shop. Okay. Inkstandshop.com. I don't remember her name. But she is a small business owner. She's a woman, small business owner too. Inkstandshop.com. So she makes these inkstands. It's kind of an interesting, fun little story. She used distress inks a lot, and needed something that would hold her ink in place while she was working. It has little feet on it, so those things don't slide around on your work surface. Anyhow, her husband made them for her. And then she's like, oh my gosh, these are awesome. And then she started a business around them, which is really cool. So I bought them from my friend Jen Shurkus, Shurkus. And the only reason I bought them from Jen, well, I love Jen and I love to support my friends that are, in the industry. But Inkstand Shop was out of them. So if you can't find them directly at inkstandshop.com, then you can find them at jenshurkus.com, Shurkus. And there are actually 3 different versions of that. That version for your rectangle inks, right? Different brands, rectangle inks, and they actually have magnets on the side, so they magnet together. And then there's also a smaller version for your little square inks, your littles, like these. I think they fit those because I think all the little inks are about the same size. I'm not sure if like the Tim Holtz inks are that same size too. Anyhow, okay, let's keep going. So this will be my edge. Now, if I really wanted to go crazy and I didn't want a whole lot of white on here, I could, but I won't do it, but I'll kind of show you what I mean. I could, if this was my background. Oh, today's gonna be a long one. I can already tell, folks, because look at, we're just playing, right? I could do that, blend, and I'm just going in a circular motion. So I could blend like that, and then have that be on. I've got to make sure I'm not getting ink everywhere. And then that could go there. All right. So just depends on how much color you want. You get a totally different look that way, right, than what I'm doing just by doing the edges. But what's interesting, you notice if you do the edges first, like here I inked the edges first and then I did my blending inside, it really still helps that edge to stand out. So it's kind of a really defined border if you do the edge before you do your kind of your circular motion everywhere else. Okay, here we go, back here again. Back here again. While I'm doing this, okay, I remembered one of the things I wanted to say. Someone earlier on mentioned something about the article that I have in the fall issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I think I talked about that a little bit last week, but if you missed last week, Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine is one of the few scrapbook, card making, mini book, tag, publications left on the market. And there used to be quite a few back in the day. Now there are primarily two. I mean, there's some that are a little bit more geared towards mixed media and different kinds of things, painting and things like that. But there are two. One is Creative Scrapbooker and the other is Scrapbook and Cards Today. Interestingly enough, both are Canadian. Both are Canadian companies. They do physical issues. So, you know, hold in your hand, flip through with your hand, issues of their publications. But they also, Scrapbook and Cards Today does electronic issues, and their electronic issues are free. So they have been in business 15 years. They've been doing it for 15 years. It's a quarterly publication. So just need to pull this off. It's a quarterly publication, which means if you went to their website, you could download and read, or, you know, just read online. You don't have to download them. 60 issues. Right? 4 times a year, 60 issues for 15 years of their publication. Anyhow, quarterly issues, and the fall one just came out last week, and I have an article in that publication all about traveler's notebooks. So if you haven't read that, you might want to just go check it out. Because you can download it or just watch it, or just read it online. Was it Nancy? Someone asked last week to show how I did the waterfall in that article. And I was going to do it this week, but then it's not really fitting in what I'm doing this week. So I have it slated right now for next week. And if it doesn't happen next week, it'll happen in the next couple of weeks. So it's just a really fun waterfall technique that you can do in your traveler's notebooks, or really any of your projects, whether you're working on a scrapbook page or a mini book or whatever it is. All right, I think we are good there. Usually when I'm using ink, I am not inking the edges, right? Usually I am typing. Carol! Okay, sorry, Carol. Yes, Carol, not Nancy. So the inks, other than the nice box that Tim sent me, the rest of them I've all purchased on my own from scrapbook.com, and the little blending tool that I'm using is also from scrapbook.com. If you are not familiar with distress oxides or not familiar with what the difference is between distress oxides and distress inks, I have my own personal opinion on which one I like better. You can see oxide, oxide, oxide. I primarily like the oxides for different reasons, but I have a link in the description of the video down below, and it's all the way at the bottom, but it's a link on the difference between distresses and distress oxides, and they do great articles. So if you're looking for either of those, follow that link, and then they have all of those things. If you need some more inks, Inks make me happy. Ooh, even just looking at my little swatch thing makes me happy. Isn't that silly? I like it. Okay, I like the blue. That is not so, well, you guys know. Oh my gosh. Someone must have been lurking. That was not planned, I promise you. You guys, I always tell you, I'm totally honest. If I'm like, oh, scrapbook.com, that was perfect timing. Honestly, I promise you. Not planned at all. But so is it Cody? Or is that you, Cody? It's always one of a couple. Cody, it's usually Cody or Laura, but I think it's probably Cody. So say hello. Cody is awesome. Well, everyone at Scrap. I love the people at scrapbook.com. I've worked with them for years. Oh yeah, not that guy. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I like it. I like the blue. That, you guys, not something that I would normally do. It's Cody. Hi. Yeah, not something, I don't ever do that. I never break out the ink. So yes, let's everyone give a nice warm welcome to Cody. And I'm just going to say it because there aren't very many of you in the industry, Cody. And Cody is male, so we love having the guys with us, right? We love having the guys with us. Cody, I hope that's not offensive that I said that. Oh, Lordy. All right. Oh, Cody sent me something the other day that I need to play with. I forgot about those. They're on my list, Cody. I'm going to add those to next week for sure. All right, there we go. There's my, that's kind of my signature, right? That's just what I always do. So for those of you that are new, or those of you that have kind of been looking and looked at the videos and gone, oh my gosh, 3 hours, 3+ hours. I don't have that kind of time. Or you're like, oh my gosh, how could it possibly take that long? I will never do any kind of listing if it takes me more than an hour, more than 5 minutes to do a list. Well, this is why sometimes they take a while, because we play, right? I have an idea and then somebody says, hey, what if you inked the edges? And then we go through that process and get the inks out. And we talk about the inks, and we talk about swatching, and then we talk about the applicator and the little foam blending tool. So and then I talk about the printers. So a lot of the things that we do, it just takes a little bit more time because we're doing that. All right, my letters. So let's see now. If I am going to go with, let's see. Let me get my little, oh, goodness. Okay, I was writing instructions last night for my Halloween mini book project. So my little ruler is over here. Hang on, because I can't do this without the ruler. Oh, heavens. I was dog sitting. Oh, there it is. I was dog sitting for my mom's dog earlier this week. There's a little dog treat on my table. There's a dog treat. There's a little cute dish full of collagen pills that I'm trying to take. There's prescription for my progressive glasses because I just ordered another pair of frames. Oh my gosh, it's a mess over there. All right, I needed the ruler though for this reason, because this is how, when I am using alphabet stickers, I always use my ruler to do it for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I line my stickers up on the ruler, I know that they are almost straight. Usually straight, but there's a chance maybe they're not. So straight-ish, we'll say, right? We'll say straight-ish. So if I put the F right there, I need 2 little O's. I love this font. This is the Florence font from Bella Boulevard. And this color is Blueberry. These I have on my website. F-O-O-D. You'll notice that these stickers do not have the insides, right? And what I mean by that is they're just like the D is completely solid, right? No inside. The O, completely solid. All right, foods. This will be good because I think this is a whimsical font, and it will kind of work with our little whimsical fox. Hello. Yes, Kim, we are the Squirrel Squad. Everything takes time. Okay, hang on. Okay, there's all kinds of things. So hold on. Okay, so Sherry, I'm glad you brought that up. Sherry said, when I clicked on the Distress Ink versus Distress Oxides line, it gives an error message. For some reason, for some people, so I put this at the top of the description of the video. For some people, when you click on links, it gives you an error message. For some people, it doesn't. If you just copy that link and paste it into a new browser window, it works fine. I don't know why, and it's really hard to troubleshoot when it works for some people but not others. So it's not you, it's not me, it's the weird World Wide Web. Maybe your computer has a weird, not a weird, but it has a different, okay, I'm going to change the way I'm going to do this now. It has a different setting on it that may not let you go click links through, it doesn't matter. Joanne, where do you find all these different sticker font books? Do you go to each different website? Joanne, I sell them all on my website. So I work with a lot of different companies, and I order their products based on things that I know I think I will like to use, and then I use them, and then sometimes you guys like to use them as well. All right, so originally I had said I thought I was going to do favorite fall small and then do foods big. That's what I was going to stamp my title, but since I'm using alpha stickers, foods is kind of small. And if I put favorite fall above it, even fave fall above it, it will be too small. So I think what I'm going to do is I will do favorite and then fall foods. With that in mind, the second reason I'm using my ruler for my alphabet stickers is that I can now move it around and decide exactly where I want those to go. If I started putting those down here and got halfway through and went, oh, wait a minute, that's not going to work, I'd have to pull all those back up again. Even if I knew I was only going to say foods, sometimes it's hard to get them centered evenly. So I use my ruler to help me do that. Center things and also figure out where I want them to go. So if this is right here, I think if foods goes about right here, and then I could put fall in front of it. Really what I need to do, I'm going to keep using the ruler. I'm going to put fall on the other side. I know this is going to be weird, but this will tell me about where things are centered. And then because I wasn't planning on doing this way, I just have to do a little bit different, but it'll make sense in a sec. It won't say favorite foods fall. What is that? Is it alliteration when not another F, Lael. Is it an alliteration when all of the letters of your words all start with the same letter? Alliteration? Oh, okay, look at that, Wendy. Oh my gosh, if you all of a sudden, Wendy said sometimes if you have an ad blocker or pop-up blocker on, you will get an error in the browser window when you click on a link. That could totally do it. Do Cajun people do that a lot? Talk with their hands? I don't think I'm Cajun, but I talk with my hands. You guys know that. All right, so if I want this to go over here, there we go. So this will be centered. I'll just have to flip the words, right? So normally I wouldn't do it this way because I would have fall foods here, but because I did it backwards, I'm gonna just make that little mark right there, and that is where I will start fall. So very lightly going to press this down without pressing the foods. Oops, that's too far. Right here. All right, so straight and centered. And then foods will go right here. Okay, this will go here, and now we'll do favorite. A Cajun thing. Well, then I must be Cajun. Alliteration, there we go. Yes, I must be Cajun then. Favorite, all right. Back to the letter stickers thing for a second. I use alphabet stickers a lot. I use alphabet stickers and alphabet stamps. I think an investment in alphabet stamps is totally worth it because something that you can use over and over and over and over and over again, right? You can make them any color that you want. Oh, B. You can make any color that you want with alphabet stamps. Definitely takes a little bit longer though, right? But alphabet stickers, faster, and you can, price-wise, generally, you can get more variety if you, in just a font, if you are working with stickers. So I like them both. Stickers and stamps. Both equally, I would say. Just depends on my mood. Something like this, I love this font, but I use it in small doses, right? So something like this, I probably would not buy a stamp set with this font because I really like it, but I don't like it that much that I would use it for me personally to warrant spending more money on on that font, for example. So that's something that you can kind of take into consideration too. If you see an alphabet stamp set that you really love, that you think you'd use all the time, usually for me, they're a little bit more generic, then it totally makes sense to buy, to buy that in the stamps. Now I need to do some thinking here because I would think that I could center that, right? And then I would go from there. But what if I wanted to instead have maybe a little icon or something go right here? Now let's look at what I have. I have some little clear stickers. These are a little bit smaller, so it wouldn't be a food, but that would be okay. I could put a little, maybe we want to do that. So if I want to do this, these are clear. Hang on, let me get this. If I want to use this cute little orange leaf, there we go. And that's a little trick. If you're having a hard time getting your stickers off, just kind of bend and then that pops right off. So yes. Okay. So if this is going to go here, now I need to figure, I lost my E. Okay, guys, where'd it go? Do we see it? I have to look forward because sometimes if I look forward and what you guys see, I can find it. Okay, is it on my sleeve? Is it on my cheek? Either cheek sometimes, right? Do you ever do that? You get undressed at the end of the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been walking around with a sticker on my behind all day long. Okay, where did it go? All right, well, we'll just get another one. It will show up. It will show up soon. It's on the back of something. All right, here we go. This goes here, and then my little guy could go right about there. So what I like about that is then everything is left and right justified. Everything is centered the same amount of spacing instead of having centered and then over. So let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's get this guy down first, I think. Let's see if it goes right here. Oh, okay, guess what I did? I am too... I wanted more space in between. So let's hold on to this guy for a sec. I need to pop these back. And instead of placing them here, I am going to go back and do it on my ruler, that just so they're straight. You know, sometimes you struggle with getting things straight, especially if you're trying to get all these different letter stickers straight. Back on the ruler. Otherwise, you guys know me, I'd be placing and replacing a couple of different times before I got them all in the right spot. Totally non-traditional fall colors, right? But they're Indian summer colors. So that works. Well, and you know what? You do you. If you want to do pink and yellow and orange in the wintertime, then you absolutely should. Because you're the boss of you. And I always used to say, well, when I teach scrapbooking classes, I always say there's no scrapbook police. Okay, I'm just going to try this time with one letter. That's better. Darn it. I lost them all. Okay. There's no scrapbook police. There's no listing police. There's no creative police. Really? There are no creative police. Well, that sounds wrong. I'm sure there are some police people that are creative. I just mean that there's nobody that should tell you that what you did was wrong or incorrect or not according to design theory. You know what? You do what you like and you be happy. Whoopsie. Okay, there we go. And then this will go right here. Ta-da! All right, there we go. Let's put our photo down. Yeah, they're all, Donna said, I purchased the other font alphabet stickers in this blue color, but I like this font you were using. And that's, you know what? Like it's to me, I mean, you guys saw my stack, and that was just my stack of the Doodlebug and Bella Boulevard alphabet stickers. I love alphabet stickers. I use them all the time. So for me, it's a good investment. It makes sense to have that many. All right, Kim Pope, this is for you. We're going to see if this works. Belinda, you know what? I love it too. So, and now I don't remember, and please don't be offended that I don't remember who suggested that. Things go too fast and there's too many things in my head as I'm working. So Belinda, was it you? Maybe it was you. I do. I love that blue. That was, and it's just super subtle, but the, that inking on the edges, I think turned out so fun. So thank you for suggesting that, if that was you. And Belinda, Lynette, there we go. Yes, Lynette, thank you for suggesting it. Because that's the other thing I love about doing these with you guys, because you get me to do things that I'd never do, right? I get in my, I won't call it a rut, but I get in my, we all get in our comfort zone and things that we just do over and over and over again. And so that got me out of my comfort zone. Now, I pulled this out, Kim, just because you used it and posted it in the Facebook group the other day. I don't, now that I see it, I don't know that it's going to work. Well, see, it could maybe. So these trees, these are called colorful trees. I've linked to them in the description of the video. They could work. I need to pull in more green somewhere though, right? Because I don't have any of that green anywhere. So I don't know. I have some green that I could pull in here, but I'm not sure they'll work this time. And sometimes we just have to try. All right. So I was going to do a little bit of journaling down here, but we'll leave that space open for now. I think I will use maybe my blues, or I could use my oranges. My dot stickers. This one has the orange. So let's see. For my lists. Oh, before I do that, these. Oh, love these. Okay. These are now gone. I am waiting to hear it gone. I mean, gone from my website. They went super quick. I'm waiting to hear from Melissa at Pretty Little Studio if she has more. And if she does, I will bring them in again. But these are word strip stickers. You guys know how much I love my word strip stickers, but these are the colored ones that go with this collection. I will tell you, of all the products I brought in, I have many more sheets like this in different colors. So you guys will be super happy. But I thought maybe up here, okay, and I just opened up all of this product last night. And because it's a new manufacturer for me, I'm not super familiar with what they have. Oh, okay. Actually, I am. You guys don't kill me, but I need to run downstairs again and get something, okay? So hold on. I'll be right back, I promise. I'll go fast. I won't run so I'm not out of breath though. All right, not added to my website yet. I promise as soon as we were done, I will add them because it's not very nice of me to pull something out to use it and tease you. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff that I'm still adding to my website that's brand new from Pretty Little Studio. But look at these, because I will use one of these. Look at these labels. 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 And labels. So these are little punch outs. So they're die cut punch outs, but I love, love, love labels. And so I will use some labels in here. I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I'm thinking this guy. So don't be sad, not on the website yet. I will add them when we're done. And if you already placed an order and you want to add to it, just email me and then we can add to it. All right, this little guy. And sometimes when you punch things out, if they still have those little, nibs on them, you just take your little scissors and go like that, kind of shave them off. Or sometimes you can just push them back, but all right. So now let's see if we want this up here. I know I don't want that up there like that, but what if this guy goes here and this goes here, and then maybe this goes in here like this. Now I went and got that for a totally different reason. Move this over a little bit. So I want to see a little bit of the end, and the loving was covering it up. And then this little guy right there. Yes, because I'm not doing what I normally do. I don't have washi along here. Normally I do, right? So let's, that guy's right about to the edge. So we'll go right here. I know the label, I tell you guys, oh, I tell you, oh yeah, there's some good stuff. Actually, let's do this instead. There's some really good stuff coming. All right. I pulled out my little glue pen instead because there are parts of this little fox, this foxy fox, that it's going to be too hard to try to get my tape runner in, and I don't want him to lift. No lifting foxes. All right. Here we go like this. And part of him, part of his little tail, I am going to end up probably cutting off. Oops. That's not far. I didn't go over far enough. Fox. Loving. There we go. I want a little bit of that still showing. So, okay. Loving. Let's see. Let's get our... Now, back to photos for a second while I'm just doing this. If you like to cook, you know my story. If you like to cook, you could have your own photos. If you have your own photos of some of your fall favorite foods, then absolutely you should put your own photos on there. They don't have to be some that you borrow, right? That's just going to go there. That cute little pumpkin will go right there with the cute little bird on it. All right. Okay, now all of that because I was looking at these guys, wasn't I? Let's see. Magnificent, that works. Oh my gosh, look at this. Fall favorites. Okay, well, that totally works, doesn't it? Fall favorites. Let's just do that right here. That will be cute. Fall favorites. All righty. I'm going to let it kind of sit. It's going to marinate for a minute right there, guys, okay? So it's not, when I say marinate, it's not all the way stuck down because I don't know if it's going to stay there or not. So it can stay there for a bit while I kind of figure things out. Oh, look at this little love that just popped in. I don't know. Maybe it will work some other time. All right, my list. Now let's get to the listing. How about that? So yeah, I think it needs to be orange. I think it needs to blend in a little bit more. So these are little dot stickers that I have on my website. I've linked to them in the description of the video. These are like the perfect thing for bullets. And when I say bullets, little, things on your list. So bunch of different colors. They are a little bit transparent, just a little bit. Yeah, I knew I was going to be worried about that up there. worried about that because it's very small in comparison to all of this. So we'll still let that sit, but might have to change it. All right, now it's time to list. And guess what? It is, oh Lordy, we're almost 2 hours in for one list. Holy moly. That's okay, we're learning and we're having fun. And when I say we're learning, I'm learning too. We're just playing, which is why I'm here, is to play. Try some different things. Okay, so what's on my list? Favorite fall foods. The favorite fall foods on my list. Well, I love chili. With all the fixings, of course, because you have to have the cheese and the green onion and the sour cream. Ooh, the Fritos on chili are really good too. So let's do that. Chili with fixings. Okay, because, I mean, chili's fine without it, but the fixings, let's be honest, are really what make it. Okay, this guy is next. Well, let's just call a spade a spade. Candy corn, because I love the candy corn. I can talk about candy corn all year long, but I'll just talk about it during September, October, because that's when it's appropriate. I'm going to share a funny article. Those of you that are in the Facebook group, and if you're not, it's a fun place to be. Oh, look at, that's kind of, all these little things just keep popping out. This would be fun, maybe in there somewhere. Maybe. Let's just put it on. Oh yes, the Facebook group. So Lail by Mail Facebook group, anyone can come. You just have to ask to be invited. So go to Facebook and click on, ooh, I won't do that yet. Go to Facebook, search for Lail by Mail. You'll find a page and a group. The group, just ask to join and then I will let you in. But I'm going to share something there. It's fun. It's a fun little group. Oh, I just got sidetracked in my head. Fun little group. I share my lists when I take the time to. Other people share their lists and share all kinds of funny little memes and squirrel things. But I'm going to go, when we're done, and share a really funny article about candy corn. And if you're a candy corn hater, I'm going to change your mind with that article. All right, candy corn. Let's see. Pumpkin spice coffee. Now, I like pumpkin spice coffee, but not necessarily a pumpkin spice latte. I really don't like pumpkin spice from Starbucks. It's not my thing. So I like pumpkin spice coffee beans, or coffee, ground coffee, but without like all the bleh in it. Although, don't get me wrong, I love a latte. Okay. The other thing, and I know this is a year-round thing, spaghetti squash. Love spaghetti squash, especially, and I don't know if you've ever, roasted is really good, but if you've ever tried this, where you roast it and then you scrape all the stuff out. That's why it's called spaghetti squash, because when you scrape it out, all the pieces look like spaghetti. And then you actually use it as spaghetti noodles. So then you put your like marinara or your oh gosh, the meat sauce. What's the meat sauce called? Starts with a B. Bolognese on top of it or whatever. But it's really good if you're not eating pasta or can't eat pasta. Or hate pasta, which if you hate pasta, we can't be friends. Pumpkin pie, right? Pumpkin pie is a good fall food. There is one that we make, usually at least once. When I say we, I mean I find the recipes and Nick makes the food. Nick's not my, well, I was going to say Nick's not my personal chef, but he might as well be. Nick's my husband and he does all the cooking. It is called pumpkin turkey rice soup. Pumpkin rice turkey soup. Pumpkin rice turkey soup. Pumpkin rice turkey soup. Fall favorite foods. And I know some of you were telling me before. If you weren't telling me before, tell me now. What are some of your fall? That's a tongue twister. Favorite fall foods. And I know it's not just for fall, but I like oatmeal. But don't eat oatmeal in the summertime. Well, I don't because it's really heavy. But I like oatmeal. And oatmeal is like a nice, you know, stick to your ribs kind of breakfast. Oatmeal. Oh, of course. This any time of year, but hold on, I gotta write that down. Cinnamon. Cinnamon. Cinnamon or Cinammon? Two N's, two M's. Tell me. I will wait on that one for a minute. Hot chocolate with cream. Oh, that sounds good. Kim, there you go. Kim just laid down the gauntlet. Everyone who doesn't like pasta must leave immediately. I'm sorry, but if you don't like pasta, oh, Diane, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Like total comfort food. I love that. I love tomato soup. Ooh, ginger snaps, cranberry waffle. Fresh apples. Nancy, I like it. Cinn. Okay, Cinn. Okay, Cinnamon. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Lauren, that was funny. I saw it and then you retracted it. Oh, okay. No, not cinnamon. Hello. Well, I like cinnamon, but cinnamon rolls, right? Oh, cinnamon rolls. Oh, with all the frosting. This is bad because I'm not eating any of the things on this list right now except for spaghetti squash. Just because I'm working on some stuff. Okay. Give me all the breads, but a fall one besides pumpkin bread, because really, how much pumpkin can we talk about? Zucchini bread. I love zucchini bread. That to me, when our kids were little, you know, kids, sometimes they really don't want to eat vegetables. That's like the sneaky way sometimes. And I know that's not healthy, but that's a sneaky way. Kids like zucchini bread because it tastes good, right? So get a little veggies in that way. Zucchini bread. Sweet potato casserole. That's with the sweet potatoes with the brown sugar and butter mixed in, then with all the marshmallows on top, and then you put it in the oven, and then all the marshmallows totally roast and get yummy. That's the Thanksgiving. And then this is another one. I will spare you the first part of it because it's pumpkin again, but I will say it's the TJ's pumpkin pancakes. And I had to do that because I was running out of room. TJ's, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's makes a pumpkin pancake mix that is so good. So good. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of pumpkins. So actually it kind of works at the pumpkins right there, right? All right. So I like this here because I like the pink, but it just it needs a black border. And what I don't know, because I haven't worked with these products before, I don't know what will happen if I try to draw the black border around that with my Sharpie. So this is what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to try it. And if it works, it works. And if not, then I'll pull it off and put something else there. One of the reasons why I always use Sharpie, I like to use Sharpie because I like a really crisp look. But Sharpie, you can write on things that need to be permanent, and you can write on things that have a coating. So these die cuts have a little bit of a coating on them. And so there, it's not going to smear. Okay, so that'll be good. That works there. Last thing I need to do, I need to pull in a little bit of yellow. And that, I can do that one of two ways. So I have these guys. How do you write so straight? Leslie. Okay, you know what? I never would have known that. I'm Leslie. I'm used to seeing your name, Les Cundy, and not the McKee. I've never seen the McKee part. Assuming you're the Leslie, I think you are, right? How do I write straight? I just do. There is, I know, sorry, yes, it is you. Hi. I know, for me to say I just do doesn't really help. I don't know how, but I do. How's that? That sounds better. There is a product that I have on my website. It's called an address template. And that's really what it is. It's a repositionable address template. I don't have one handy or else I would show you. But if you go Google or go search it on my website, it's an address template. But I have them on my website because I think they are great for being able to write straight on your traveler's notebook. It is a repositionable little thing that's about this big, so it's the perfect width for your traveler's notebook insert, and you can set it down and write, or write your lines and then lift it back up and then put it somewhere else later, and it helps you if you're working with cardstock, white cardstock on your list like this, or even if you're working with a blank traveler's notebook insert and doing your listing there. All right, we are almost done, friends. It needs just something else right down here because it's a little bit just empty right there. Oh, I know. Okay, look at these are, all right, well, I'm gonna do it. These little things are part of one of the die cut packs that I'm using. Nope, not that one. Anyhow, one of the Indian Summer die cut packs. If you look at them on my website, then you'll see which one. But has these little strips. So you can make little strips like this out of your pattern paper. So if I wanted, I had a little bit of pattern paper left over, I could make that strip. But little strips, I know, Belinda, I know, I totally got sidetracked. Yellow will still make an appearance. But yes, sorry. Now I'm like, wait a minute, should I put something yellow in instead? No. These little strips are nice because look at the scale. Scale is a little bit smaller. So if I wanted to use that there, I could. But that's too matchy-matchy for me. I already have that over there. So let's do something that coordinates instead of matches. So this guy, I think, could be really fun right there along the bottom. So I have adhered that on top of the photo. I don't want to try to necessarily pull that off the photo because it might not fare very well. But if I just lift up from the bottom, let's get a little bit of adhesive on this little strip. So fun, you guys, because this turned out so different than I had pictured in my mind when I was drawing my little sketch this morning. Turned out totally different, but that's what's so fun. That's what I love about what we do. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's like it's designed for a traveler's notebook. That little strip is like the perfect width. Okay, there we go. Now it for sure needs yellow. Because we have yellow here and we have a little bit of yellow here and we have yellow in the flowers and yellow here. So we just need to tie the yellow in a tad bit more. So one of two things. I could either pull in my little hearts that, this is so sad. Do you see what's missing? Do you see what's missing? Oh boy, do you see what's missing? All of the yellows. Oh, that's hilarious. I need to grab some more packs of that. I just need a full sheet of yellows. And when I say full sheet of yellows, I have these. So these guys are a little bit bigger. But, so these are the trinkets from Bella. Those are on my website. And these are like the little heart. If you search hearts on my website, you'll find those. But normally there's yellow in there. I just really like yellow. Kathy just made the Trader Joe's pumpkin waffles this morning. Oh, so good. So, so good, right? If you pull the pen towards you, it keeps... Oh, look at Kylie. Look at that. If you pull the pen towards you, it helps keep your line straight. That's a good tip. Okay, so let's get some yellow. Let's pull out some yellow. So trinkets. I've used these trinkets a couple of times. They come in, I don't know, I have 6 or 7 different colors on my website. But they are little puffy stickers. And you can see there's 2 different shades of yellow. And then you have flowers and stars and arrows and hearts. So I think, I don't know, let's see. Let's see, maybe we want a little flower? I don't know, because the flowers actually kind of go with what was over there. All right, what if we put, I like it, we're gonna go right there. Tweezers. So you've seen me use tweezers a couple times. These are the reverse grip tweezers. And these are awesome for placing stickers as opposed to trying to get my hands on that clear sticker and then put it down and my hands get all sticky. So I like to use my tweezers. So that went right there. And then let's see, maybe. Maybe. Do we double heart this? Then that makes that orange heart stand out a little bit more. Then we kind of have our visual triangle going with those. 1, 2, 3. So see triangle like this with our yellow here. The question is if we need just a little bit more yellow in here somewhere. Maybe so. I know what we'll do. What if we put one of these small little flowers right there on the little fox's, yes, on the little fox's scarf. All right. Wow. That was a really long list, you guys. That one took a really long time. But here's the thing. It's creative time, right? I don't care for me when I'm doing this if I get 20 lists done in 2 hours or I get one. Because for me, it's the time spent is the creativity. And it's also the time spent with you guys socializing because I like that. I work a ton, and the way things have been with COVID, I don't see a lot of people. So this is like my social interactive time. So don't ever feel guilty. Don't ever feel guilty about how much time that you spend creating. Now, got to be careful with that because if you're neglecting your kids or something like that, then, maybe you need to do it in the middle of the night when they're sleeping. But you should never feel guilty. And someone says, what did you do today? And you say, well, I spent 4 hours making a list. You know what? Who cares? If you said, I spent 4 hours knitting, no one would care because you were knitting. They don't know what you're knitting. Maybe you spent 4 hours knitting and unknitting, unstitching one little piece. Doesn't matter. So the amount of time that we spend when we're creative, we shouldn't have any expectations when it comes to what we can get done in that amount of time. Because if you're being creative for the sake of being creative, then you're filling that need. So it's all good. All right, let's take that, and they won't all be this long, I promise. I got things to do. No. Yes, these Saturdays with you all are fun. I agree, Joanne. I love our Saturdays together. I love them. And I love that you guys push me to do some things, try some things that normally I probably wouldn't try. Believe me, I've ink edges of things all the time, but I don't think I've ever inked the edge of one of my lists. And that was a really fun way, I think, to pull in some additional color. And then also, it's a fun way to get your product out, right? Sometimes, round the corners. Sometimes, excuse my reach for a second. Oopsie. Sometimes we like product. I don't know about you guys. I like product. I mean, all of this product makes me so happy. But I've been doing it for a long time, and it's always been that way. Used to be back in the day when I was teaching, still teaching, but when I was teaching at scrapbook stores, and I will be doing that again starting next month. Literally, I would walk into a scrapbook store, and it just, like nirvana. It's just, for me, happy place. So products like this just make me happy. It's probably like my natural drug, right? It's like my heroin. It's a good heroin. I don't know. Nobody ever probably said good heroin, but it is. For me, it's a good addiction because it's not harmful, and they make me happy. So I always say, if you can walk into a place, I don't care where it is. For you, if it's the gym, or whether it's the library, or whether it's a craft store, or whether, I don't know, for some of it, it's even an office supply store, right? Wherever it is, if you can walk into a florist, a place that you can walk into that instantly makes you happy, you need to be at that place more, right? You really need to be spending more time at that place. Oh, look at his bushy tail's gone. Oh, well, he's a skinny fox now, right? He's skinny now. That's all right. I just cut off the cutest part of him. Before I cut off his tail, I could have moved him over. And actually, even though his tail is cut off, I could, but I won't. I could go in and replace those things, but I won't do that. Sometimes we just have to move on, right? Oh, last thing, I need to date this, right? I need to date this. So let's just do this. Don't really have room for stamping, so let's just do this 9-21, okay? Those are my favorite fall foods. So probably some of these things on my list would change over time, right? So some of the things that might be my favorite fall foods now, probably not my favorite fall foods when I was a kid, like spaghetti squash. I'm pretty sure I would have said, blah. Candy corn, pretty sure that would have been the top of the list back then. So that's another fun list to do. throughout your time. That's also another fun list to do with family or friends if you're sitting around. Hey, what are your favorite fall foods? Frances joins us sometimes, and one of the times that she joined us in the past, she was at a scrapbook store with her friends, and they were cropping, so they were there for the weekend or the day. And I don't know, I was listing some topic. Oh, I know what it was. It was this list. It was the list about this favorite sitcom characters. So we were listing about favorite sitcom characters, and then like all the people that were at the crop, because Francis, they were talking about it. Everybody kind of joined in, the people that were there, and they were just chatting about their favorite sitcom characters. So a lot of the things we do in terms of listing, they're really good conversation starters or conversations to have with people that are around you. All right, there's our first one. Favorite fall foods. Oh, that is totally different type of list than I normally do. I love the way that turned out. That was super fun. Okay, and it's okay to say you like what you do. And it's also okay to say you don't like what you do, right? Because sometimes things work really well, and sometimes you're like, yeah, I didn't like that so much. And then guess what? Just turn the page. Just turn the page. All right, so now it is time to move to our second list. Okay, yes, Frances. There she is. Of course I remembered. Now, I remember lots of things, and lots of times I don't remember things. Like, it's funny. Sometimes I can remember things that happened a couple of weeks ago, but I can't remember the person that said, "Oh, put the blue on the outside of your list." Isn't that funny the way our brains work? It's because I have the lyrics to all the Bee Gees songs stuck in my brain, and so it takes up space for other important things that I should be remembering that I can't. Okay, next list. And when I say know the lyrics to all the Bee Gees songs, I know the lyrics to a lot of Bee Gees songs. I like the Bee Gees. I will not sing them to you, though, because my voice is a little something to be desired when it comes to singing. All right, next list. This is a one-page list. Actually, both of our next lists are one-pagers. The next list is things I'd change about myself. Or the title could be do-over. And so I'm kind of trying to decide, is my title do-over or is it things I'd change about myself? Two totally different, ways to approach it. Do-over is more kind of funny, and things I'd change about myself is just a little bit more normal. So I am going to use, let's get some of these things out of the way. I am going to use Peaceful Heart again, because Peaceful Heart it's just a really good generic for me. It's a good generic and all of that stuff. Okay, someone come and just right now clean it all up. Just clean it all up for me. Or when I'm done, clean it all up. There we go. That's something that's going on if I won the lottery list. A cleaner upper. Not a fixer, a cleaner upper. All right, so Peaceful Heart. One-page list. I will do a background just because. So let's get out the paper pad. And let's see well, I like that one. I like pink and orange. Oh, look it. Well, this may be the day of pink and orange. Hi, Pam. Because look it, we have kind of that same theme. Now, I really don't care because some days I go from that to that in the same listing session. It doesn't matter to me because it's all just a Mod Podge. But I kind of like this. I kind of like this. And what I'm doing for my next list, let me just look at something very quickly. Let me just look at very quickly. They're going to be two separate lists, but they don't ever have to coordinate. They don't ever have to match. But in this case, I might have the bases of them coordinate a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do that. One list will have this orange and pink polka dot. The other list will have those gold foil butterflies. Sandy and Francis will be scrapping at your local scrapbook store. Is that the one in Dixon? Next weekend at Crop for the Cure. So we'll be watching it together. Oh, that's fun. Fun. All right, Peaceful Heart paper. All right, let's get started there. And this is going to be for our next list, so let's put that off to the side for a moment. All right, so now we need to trim this down to our 4 3/4 because it's from a 6x8 pad. In this case, it's not 8x8 like we just used, but this is 6x8. So I just need to trim a little bit off. I want this to be 4 3/4, so there we go. But I will still save this because if I was doing a, I was doing a 2-page list, I could do something like this. Well, I could do 2 different things. We've done it a couple of different ways before. We could go like that, and then this could be, I'd do something here and then do something else over here. We've done that before. Or I could put this over here, and this could kind of be a border, and so I do something here and then something here. But the extra little piece that you cut off can still be used. Francis, you're doing Ready, Set, Create this weekend too, right? I saw you on last night, right? I think. All right, so that will go there. And now I need my my cardstock for my list. Oh, okay, more cardstock. I use a lot of white cardstock because I like to use pattern paper. That's a really easy way to bring color and pattern, obviously, into your lists. Even if that's all that you use pattern paper for a background. That's also a great way if you've been crafting a long time and you have a huge stash of pattern paper, which I know some of you, I'm right there with you, I know. So that's a great way to start using up some of your pattern paper. Just use it as a background for a list and then do your list on top of that like we did here. Okay, so let's go what we always do. Trim that down to 8 1/4. And I always just start at 5 because that's just easy. And I do that usually, well, I have lots of these already pre-cut, but I like to go through that process when we're together because I think that it makes more sense of why I do what I do. So let's try our 4x7 and see where that gets us. Okay. There we go. That's the start of our list. One of the things you see I'm starting to do, I am more than halfway through my insert. And on my insert, the left side has a lot in it now. See if you can see that. The left side has a lot in it and the right side not as much. The deeper I get into my insert, the more difficult it is for me to make my list directly in the insert. Just because, it's not impossible, because as we keep going, I will still do lists directly on the insert itself. But because there's more here and I'm dealing with that curve right there, sometimes it's a little bit easier to just make my list on the paper and then add it to the notebook or the insert. Okay, so there we go. Now let's look at, pull out the stickers. From Peaceful Heart. This is also linked in the description of the video. So I could go 2 different ways with this, right? So if I was going to use the title Do-Over, I for sure would not do this because then it's just a totally different thing. But I've said before when I've used these stickers in this collection, I'm like, you know, I don't do yoga. I should, as I think it'd be really good for my mind and body, but I don't. And so I thought, well, I probably never use these little yoga ladies. But you know what? This yoga lady, I think I could use on this one because even though this has nothing to do with yoga, this is, if I'm talking about things that I would change about myself, that's kind of a good, maybe a good visual. So I think I'm going to use that one. That will go right down here towards the bottom. But I know I want to get some washi in here. Oh, yes. This is all of the washi from, actually, let's just do this. This is the Peaceful Heart washi. This one I used, I think last month, that one. Oh, that floral is so pretty. Okay, let's see. Did I get them all? Oh, one more, wood grain. Okay, so let's see. Well, and this is way different. So again, not what I was thinking, but she has little blue in her little bodysuit, I don't know, whatever you call that, her Jane Fonda aerobics clothing. Um, that reminds me, oh my gosh. Okay. How many of you guys saw Tiger King last year? Tiger King was like the show, the crazy, oh my gosh, what the heck is happening to our world show of COVID. In my book, and that was in 2020. Well, they are coming out with a new one, a part 2. I just did hear that yesterday. But the 2021 version of Tiger King is Lula Rich. Have any of you guys watched Lula Rich? It is on Amazon Prime. It's the story about LuLaRoe, the clothing company, and what a, oh my gosh, train wreck. And it just kind of, when I saw her little pants, it reminded me, because the pattern placement, I was looking at this going, oh my gosh, how fun would those, look at her little top and her pants. And I'm like, what is that? There's this big, well, it's just a flower, right? But there's this big flower all around her, well, you know, kind of that area. It reminded me of this Lula Rich show, documentary about LuLaRoe, and how they just tanked, and the whole story. It's very, like, you watch it with your like mouth agape on the whole scenario and what happened. But they had some very odd placement of some of the designs in some of their legging bottom things. All right, but so I was saying navy, and it might be kind of fun to bring this navy in. So we have navy with these really pretty kind of flying birds. Well, flying birds as opposed to like flying UFOs or something. All right, if we did that, I need something else to go with it. So let's just play here. Maybe this would be cute. Normally I don't cut. Normally I just tear, but, oh, before I do that, I need to get this adhered. All right. Yeah, Jane Fonda aerobics clothing. Yeah, I used to do Jane Fonda, remember? And talk about someone who like has the fountain of youth. I mean, she looks amazing. Now, granted, I'm sure she spent a lot of money to look amazing, but for her age, and I don't even know what her age is, but I know she's getting up there. She looks amazing. All right, there we go. And then, oh yeah, where'd it go? Oh, this yellow diagonal. Again, look at me. Yellow and pink, and I'm not a creature of habit at all, am I? And navy. Those are probably my colors right there. Yellow, pink, and navy. Oh, look at, and then she's gonna sit right there in her peaceful pose. Peaceful pose does not exist in my world. I can sit still for about 2 seconds. All right, yeah, okay, that works. I thought I'd never use those little gals. I mean the little yoga gals. Or, you know, meditating or whatever they are. I think that's I don't know, something pose. I know it's not downward dog because downward dog goes down. So I don't know what that one is. Warrior princess, maybe? I don't know. You yoga people, you tell me what her pose is, what that pose is. Okay, now, so I have a question. This just popped into my head for a second. Diane, it's called Lula Rich. So LuLarich, Lula Rich, and they made a freaking fortune, like billions of dollars, that company, billions with a B. If you Google it, but I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime. And when Nick's been traveling, that's when I watch it. I don't know that I can convince Nick to watch Lula Rich with me. And I see Nick's here. Hi, honey. Yep, how's the golfing? Hopefully better than last week, right? Yeah, he usually pops in, I don't know, from the 9th or 10th tee to say hi to everybody. 10th tee, 10th hole, I don't know, whatever it is. I don't golf. Let's see. And Jane is in her 80s. Yeah, she's amazing. She looks amazing. Okay, now I don't even remember. Oh, I know. Okay, so I have a question. And this is a question about a term or terminology because I don't know. when I was a kid, when we sat like this, it was called, you were sitting Indian style. Now I know that is not politically correct, right? I know that's, that's definitely not politically correct. But when I was a kid, that's what it was called. You'd go to school and they'd say, sit down Indian style. What is that pose in yoga called? If any of you are yoga people, what is that, the name for that pose? And we talked about, I want to say, anybody yoga? I think that one may be yoga princess. Lotus pose, Mandy, thank you. Warrior pose, yes, Melissa, I think I had that right. Warrior pose? Lotus, is that lotus? Lotus, okay, thank you. Thank you. And nobody report me to the politically incorrect police, because I prefaced it. I know that's not politically correct, but I was just wondering what that's called now. Lotus pose, thank you. And I wonder, okay, so now I wonder what they say to little kids. Like when they say, sit down like that with your legs crossed. I know when our kids were little, they would say, sit on your pockets. Like they want them to basically sit on your bum, sit on your pockets, and then kids would know, oh, to sit down. Lotus sitting, warrior standing. There we go. Crisscross applesauce. Oh, perfect, Amy. Crisscross applesauce. And they totally get that, right? They totally get that. All right, let's do a little outlining on our list here. I don't know. I probably really should do yoga. It'd probably really be good for my mind. My mind, body, and soul. And from what I know of it, it kicks your butt. It kicks your butt. It is not necessarily an easy thing, but it's good for you, right? Okay, there we go. So now we need a title. I won't do do-over because now I have a totally different vibe going on here now for do-over. So let's see. Things I'd like to change about myself. Not things I do differently, because some of them are not things that I would do. They're physical things about me, but it's my list. I can do whatever I want. Things I'd like to change about myself. All right, so in there for me, as I think about that sentence, things I'd like to change about myself. The key word, the operative word is change. So, bumpers on the floor, that's cute. Yes, Lynette, that's what I hear. Lynette said, I sweat and hurt more with the yoga class than I ever do with the cardio class. That's what I understand. All right, so the operative word in that sentence is change. So I think I'm going to focus on that word, and I think, well, you know what? We have the blue out. Why don't we just blue? I'm going to do some stamping in blue with the word change. So we're on a navy kick today. I need to get out my alphabet. I shouldn't have put jeans on this morning. What was I thinking? It's getting toasty. All right, so these, okay, nobody pass any judgment, right? This is a judgment-free zone. I will tell you guys, I am just like you. When I say I like the product, I like product like this. And this is the best way for me to show you this, because this is not a product I carry. This is a product that I purchase. And this is just a very small little sampling of the new stamps that I have from her. My Carrie Bradford addiction, my friends, is a strong one. It is a big one. These are just some of the new that I have in my little new stamp section. So, and I don't work for Carrie, and I buy my stamps. But you know what? So what about that? The willow, that could be fun. Or do I need something a little bit more? That could be fun. We're just going to play again, you guys. We're just going to play. So today is a day of play. Well, let's be honest. All the days are play, but okay, let's look at those. Those are from the new section. And now we need to come here because these are from the not new section. More alphas. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. None of these. These are going back in the new. Okay. So this one, that's too small. This one, I kind of like that one. Or this one. Too small. All right, and I think, okay, let's take a look at, maybe Jordan. I think Jordan. We're going to try Jordan. So I need all of my stamping things. This is what's going to make our day together friends, really long because now I'm going to stamp. And sometimes it takes a hot minute, right? Oh, now, okay, so now it's fun. If I wanted, I maybe could incorporate a butterfly in here because a butterfly is kind of all about change, right? Evolving. There's some things I don't, well, I guess I could evolve. If I go to a plastic surgeon, I could evolve those. I could evolve that way, but some things can evolve and I could change, but others not without some surgery and some money. Okay, so let's go with our stamp blocks. So these are the Fiskars nesting stamp blocks. I have these on my website. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 little blocks that all nest together. So you kind of have the size that you need. Well, for the majority of the things you're working on, the majority of things I'm working on. All right, so we'll use this little guy. And I want navy, right? I want navy again. So let's go back to our navies. And I need something really, ooh, okay, chipped sapphire, maybe. I mean, I need a really dark. So I think it may be chipped sapphire. I probably won't be able to get as dark or as close to that, but that's probably pretty close. Now, I still don't have prized ribbon, but I think prized ribbon will be too, yeah, it's just too vibrant, right? Prized ribbon is too vibrant. So I think chipped sapphire it is going to be. And that too, so sometimes you think, oh my gosh, I love inks or I love pens or whatever, how many blues do I need? Well, if you want things to match, sometimes you need more than one blue because, I mean, that would totally work. It would be fine, but I want something a little darker. That's at least what I tell myself, right? That's an excuse. Chipped sapphire. So I think, did I put that away already? Oh, I never, did I? Oh yeah, okay. Where did it go? Where did chipped sapphire go? Oh, here it is. Okay, chipped sapphire. Now, when I know, Lynette, I agree with you. Give me them all. Give me all the things, just all the things. My friend Vicky says that a lot. I need all the things. Give me all the things. You need all the things. And you know what? Here's the thing. If you're not paying your house payment, you know what I mean, and you are using them, that's the key, right? You know what you can buy. You know what you will use. I think there comes a point where you buy all the things, and I don't mean you, I mean we, when we do this, and I hope Nick's not here anymore because he'll be like, are you kidding me? You're totally lying. I mean, I'm not lying, but he would be like, okay, Pot. We always call each other that. That came from an episode of Friends where Chandler, maybe it was Chandler and Joey, and they were somehow talking about, I don't even know what they were talking about, but Chandler said, okay, Pot, meaning oh no, I've totally messed it up. This is a layler, guys. This what I just did there has a name for it. It's called a layler. My friends came up with that term many years ago, layler, when I start telling a story and then it goes so long and then I forget. The pot calling the kettle black. There we go. The pot calling the kettle black. So Pot. So if Nick and I are saying, he'd be like, okay, Pot. In that case, if he was here, he'd be like, okay, Pot, because I'm basically calling the kettle black or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So now I need, golly, that went on a tangent, didn't it? Scatter was with us big time on that one. All right. If you're new, Scatter, that's kind of our little mascot. Early days of COVID, when I started doing these, well, the squirreling is just who I am. That's just my personality. So that's not a new thing. But I was doing my Saturday sessions, and this was way in the early days when we were all on lockdown here in the US, and our younger son Sam was home from college, and he was not happy about that, right? As lots of young kids were not happy to be cooped up with their parents. He'd been gone for one semester. It was his freshman year. He'd been gone one semester and home. So he's not happy about that. And he was so bored to tears, he would join me on Saturdays. So he'd be in here with me, and oh my gosh, we wouldn't bicker, but I'd be doing something. He'd be like, Mom, that's not how you do it. And I'm like looking at him like, hello? You have no clue what you're talking about. And we just bicker back and forth. But After one of the sessions, I'm like, oh my gosh, Sam, I squirreled bad on that one. And then we started talking about squirrels, and I said, you know what? I need to find a squirrel. And I said, well, you can't go shopping anywhere. So I said, I bet I can find one on Amazon. And then I got him. And he came in the mail, and then he was been with me ever since. So the ladies way back then, and some of you I'm sure are here. Yes, that will be good font. Some of you are still here. Named him because they said, well, he needs a name. And I said, great, what should his name be? And then they named him Scatter the Squirrel. And my stamp set is called Scattered Thoughts. Anyhow, Scatter the Squirrel. That was a total scatter squirrel moment. Okay, so the little book I have here, I use this just to do my test stamping. And it's just easy because it's all in one place. Oh, we did that a couple weeks ago. That, just to see what all the washi looked like. That is the Peaceful Heart washi. Because sometimes it's really hard when you see it in an image, or even when you see it in a package, you're like, I don't really know what that looks like, but that's what they look like. Okay, so let's do this the right way. Hang on. Let me get out my other little guy just because, oh, here we go. Let's put that there for now, and then I'm going to ink it up. Some of these letters you can see had been used before and some had not. So I always test stamp for a couple reasons. Number one, if you have stamps that are brand new, you haven't used before, you always should prime them. And prime them, there are a couple of different ways to do that. This is how I like to prime them. I just stamp with them first. Some people say you can put an eraser on it. I don't know. I've never tried that. I just like to prime them first. You get a very different impression sometimes on the stamp that has not been stamped before and the stamp that has. I like to have a very nice, crisp ink on all of my letters and on all the parts of each letter. So priming the stamp works really well for me to make sure that I do that. Because it gets it all ready for stamping. The other reason I do that is to make sure that I spelled the word correctly, right? Because sometimes you'll put something on there and it's not spelled correctly. So, and sometimes when you look at it this way, you don't notice because it's backwards. But here, I can see it spelled correctly. I can also make sure that I have lined it up correctly. Ooh. Okay, hang on. I can also make sure that I've lined it up correctly. It's straight. I want my stamps to be straight if I want them to be straight. Little quick tip, always have baby wipes with you when you are stamping. And they don't have to be nice ones. You just have to have them that you can wipe off your fingers. Because I had a little bit of blue on my fingers, probably from getting it on my stamp pad like that. They also can clean off your stamps when you're done. All right, so it's looking good. I think it has nice coverage and it looks straight and it's spelled correctly. So let's get this out of the way. Sometimes too, it's nice to have, well, if I keep everything in the same book, I can easily just go, was that a good color? Did that work? Oh yeah, that was a great color. I want to use that one again without having to get out my swatches. Okay. So let's see here. Change is going to go right here. So I just want to give this a little bit more ink because, hi Shannon. I'm just giving it a little more ink because it's sat for a little bit. And again, I like a really nice, like solid stamped image. That's what I prefer. Okay, so now I'm going to write my title above and below. Things I would change if I could. Things I would if I could. All right, so I'll write a little bit above and a little bit below. And I look like I'm centered there pretty well. There we go. We're going in. The Squirrel Squad. Yes. That is what, and that's what some of the ladies call our little group here, right? The Squirrel Squad. What was that? Pot. Thank you, Wendy. Yes, pot calling the kettle black. Wow, that took me a long time to get that out. Yes. So Nick and I sometimes call each other pot if it happens to be that situation, right? I'll be like, Nick, why did you open the mail and then leave that opened package on the counter? And he'll look at me and he'll go, hello, pot, because I do that all the time, right? It's okay when I do it, not when he does it. All right. There we go. Oh, love it. Nice. Super crisp stamp, nice coverage of the ink, and that is super bold, right? That is super bold, and actually, now that we have that stamped, that blue goes really well with that. So I'm happy with that. All right, let me take that little wipey again, and let's just be good, because I usually don't do this. Let's be good and clean that off. You'll notice the blue came off right away. The H and the G and the E did not, but that's because I had stamped with a black ink on those letters before, and then I just didn't clean it off right away. Now, sometimes even if you clean it off right away, the ink will look like it's staining your stamps. It's just staining the rubber. It's not, that ink is not going to always stamp black, if that makes sense. So once I clean that, and I'll just show you, because sometimes it's scary if you haven't done a lot of stamping before and you're like, oh my gosh, that's ruined. I'll never be able to stamp anything again because now it's stained black. But it's really not stained black. I mean, it just looks like it's stained black. So if I were to try to stamp again right there, nothing. Well, you've got a little bit of residual from the blue, but nothing. So even though the letters aren't as pretty, that's okay. Your image is still going to be fine on whatever color you use. But always a good idea to clean stamps, whatever stamps you have. And also, especially if you go from a dark to a light, like if you're stamping this in dark blue and then I want to stamp something in yellow right after that, you just have to really make sure they're clean, or else you'll end up with green. Oh, Colleen. Okay, gotcha. You know what? I love that. Let me mention what Colleen just said really quick. Colleen said, quick suggestion in your test book, write the name of the ink color under it so you know the name. So I happen to know that this one, because I did it last week, that's Tattered Rose. And I know this one is Fossilized Amber. And I know this one is Chipped Sapphire. Good names, right? Vicky, some of you guys know Vicky, my friend Vicky Booten. I was tuned into her Facebook Live last night, and she was using a purple one called, Seedless Preserves. What a good name, right? Okay, let's see. Susie. Oh, okay. So Susie, yes, Susie's knowledgeable on this. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She said, a tip I always tell my stampers is to use a firm foam pad, like mouse pad, under your paper when using clear stamps. I'll have to try that, Susie. I've never tried that. A firm foam pad, like a mouse pad, under your paper when using clear stamps. So like right here, if I was doing this now, I'd put a foam pad right here and then stamp on top, yeah? Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it next time. I don't think I have a mouse pad anymore. I use my laptop just with the little tracker, but I'm going to try it because I think it'd be fun for us to see together, right? Shannon, we need to talk about your problem with purple. So here's the thing. When Tim asked what colors I would like to have, guess what I did? You'll be proud. I just haven't had a chance to swatch them yet. And until I swatch them, I can't use them. Because I don't really know what they look like. Look at Dusty Concord. Ooh, here it is. Seedless Preserve. Victorian Velvet. Milled Lavender. Wilted Violet. See, look it. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Colleen. No, not Colleen. Where'd she go? Oh, Shannon. Yes, I'm going to do it, Shannon. Look at all those purples. So hopefully this week that Lily will have time to do that for me. And then I will... then I'm going to start using some purple because you're right. I have an aversion to purple, but I shouldn't. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Perfect. Melissa checked for us. The stamp set I used for the swatching is called Fill in the Blanks, and it's on sale for $36 on Carrie's website. There are 2 sheets of stamps in that set. Okay, so now that you told me that, I bet I can, look at, because I haven't organized, I just didn't know what it was called. This is the set. It's a big stamp set. So the 2 sheets, let's get them right that way. Okay, that is the stamp that I used. But fill in the blank is so you can, she's all the dates, all these words, and then bunches of other little guys to go with all the things, okay? Oh, Colleen, I caught it. Angel time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? Susie, send it to me and I'll send you something back. We'll trade Happy Mail. That would be so fun. You're so nice. Yes, I'd love that. Okay. You know what though, Susie? Okay, I'm going to try really hard to remember. I will try really hard to remember because, you know what? Do this. Send me your address and then I'll send you something and then I'll get your email and that will make me respond to you. Can we do that? Or else I know what'll happen. I'll forget if I don't write it down. Okay, change. So my title for this list is Things I'd Change. Things I'd change. I have to be careful with if I could because some of these things I can change. Things I would change if I could. That's what I'm going to do. Even though I can change some of them, that's okay. Things I would change if I could. Okay, things I would change if I could. And these are things about me, so this is not, you know, I would change it so there was no hunger in the world. I would change, you know, so that there was no domestic violence. I would change so that there, anything like that. These are related to me because I would obviously change lots of other things. Okay, things I would change if I could. Now, the last thing I need to figure out, actually, I think this butterfly is still calling my name because that really works with the change a lot. And of course, butterflies happen all the time, right? Okay, now interesting. That gives it a totally different look. And it would have to go kind of about right there. Than if I used this one, the gold foil butterfly. Yeah, this kind of makes it a little bit more, I don't know, there's something about that one that just makes it like a little bit more girly pink, not as serious. So even it's a beautiful butterfly and it totally matches, totally coordinates, but I will take it off. And I think this one is more, this is just a little bit more, you know, I don't know, a little bit more, I don't want to say serious because it's not, well, maybe it is serious. I don't know. All right, so things I would change if I could. Now, I need to decide. Okay, now here's the thing, you guys. It's my list. So there are some things that are on my things I would change about myself if I could list that, you know, just because this is normal, this is human nature, we would say to someone, no, don't say that, don't say that. But I'm going to say them because there are things that I would change if I could. So my list is my list, your list is your list. Now, when I say these things, don't say, oh my gosh, no, you don't, da-da-da. My list, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, things I would change if I could. So I just need to decide, I feel like, yeah, I need to add just maybe, I don't know, this could totally ruin it though. I was thinking that yeah, I think it's going to ruin it. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Now I just saw something and I'm going to do one other little thing, but this is not what I was going to do. I was going to think maybe put some few things in here, but then it will ruin it. And so it'll be just too much going on. So I won't do that. This though, this could be fun. This little clip. Oh yeah, no. That clip would work if I had not put that there. It's just too much going on at the top. So the clip is coming off. But the clip could go over here. Maybe. I want it, maybe this side. It couldn't go on this side because that and that. No. All right. I think that's what goes through my head when I try things like that. So I like to just mention those things out loud so you can see why I did do something or why I didn't do something, why I thought something didn't work. So I'm going to grab one thing and see how I feel about this. I do not know. I have not pulled out my dot markers in a long time. Hi, Mary. Mary, yes, Mary Lake Ferry. I think that's what you told me, right? I think, you know, Lynette, I've never met Janet in person. She and I have taught at a couple of virtual events together, and I think I would like Janet a lot. Maybe one of these days we can meet in person. So haven't used my dot markers in a while. I'm pulling out a metallic gold one. So if you're new to dot markers, they're really cool and I love them because they're awesome for making bullets, right? So let's just see what the metallic would look like with, ooh, yeah, okay, maybe not because this might look a little, oh, I don't know. We'll see. dot marker. So you can see it's rounded. It's kind of like our little domed blending tool. It's rounded, domed. And depending on the pressure I apply, I can make different size dots. Or in this case, I want them to be bullets, right? Okay, so Karen, yes on the dot markers. Got them on the table. All right, so there we go. Now, I think, ooh, look at that. Okay, total squirrel, but I got sidetracked. Look at that. This looks like I'm Vicky Booten. What I mean by that, Vicky and her mixed media. This is funny. There's a happy accident and it's not on my project, so obviously it won't get used. But I had the ink over on this side, right? Ink on this side. And this is my garbage. This was the, my wipe. So my wipe was wet and it kind of got on that edge, but that's kind of cool, huh? That could be something we could play with. Vicky would just laugh at me. No, she wouldn't. She would encourage me. She would encourage us to play. Yes, Mary, you're totally right. Mary said the dot markers are more expensive. Dot stickers are more bang for the buck. So Mary, I'll show you because you, I think, just joined. We just used dot stickers on our last list. I pulled out the dot stickers. So there they are. They're my little dot stickers. Yeah, they're definitely good value. All right, so I think I'm going to just do this. I'm going to use it. There we go. There's one little dot. Things I would change if I could. So the very first, well, they are not in order of importance. They're just my list as I made them. And you know what? Unfortunately, because they're changed, I mean, on my list is not, I wish I was meaner and not such a nice person. I mean, so they're all going to be kind of, not negative, but kind of, towards that angle. So the first one, things I would change if I could. I was going to say hate, but I won't say hate. So I would say, I dislike strongly my nose. I have my grandfather's nose. And over the years, I've started to notice it more. That at the end, it's like a little bubble. And I don't like that. And I've noticed it even more recently, all the filming that I do. If I ever go back and watch with my glasses, it's totally pronounced. So that's just something I don't like. And there we go. Things I would change if I could. And this is something I can, again, that I could change, right? I could totally change that. I could have a nose job, but some of these things I could totally change to just be a little expensive and a little bit more involved. Let's see. This one I am working on, things I would change if I could. This is how I'm going to word this. Feel comfortable in my clothes. That's a nice way of saying lose weight, right? That's a nice way of saying lose weight, which I am working on. So we're getting there. And this is not, again, I could change my nose. I could change feeling comfortable in my clothes. To stop procrastinating. Probably shouldn't say if I could, because I could change all of these things, let's be honest. But that's okay. My list title started out as things I'd change about myself, but this sounds better. Yes, Mary, or make sure you have good tailored clothes. Absolutely. But when you're at the weight you want to be, at least for me, when I'm at the weight that I want to be. Nick would laugh. Keep my closet clean. Oh, I would be so embarrassed if you guys came to my house. It is something that, it's just me. It's something, and I have to erase part of this because my N turned into an M. So erase with my white gel pen, which erase, just I write over it with white. Yeah, it's a mess. It is a mess. Again, something I could do. I could. Things I would change if I could, although clearly I can't. Okay, next up is, oh, be more patient. What about you guys on your list? And you know what? Familiar, I want to say, nose and ears keep changing through our life. And that's probably why I notice it more these days, because it's changed. To be more patient. Oh, yes. To work less. That I have complete control over, right? That I have complete control over that more than any other thing I've done in my life, because it's my company. I can decide when I work and when I don't. My problem is there's not much don't. Oh, I would get rid of my forehead wrinkles. Oh, did I just add an extra E in forehead? F-O-R-E, forehead? Wendy, am I writing your list for you? Would you like me to photocopy this and send it to you? Oh, Mary, I love that. Look it. Okay, Mary, that's my kind of, yes. Mary said, my hands spread so I could reach an octave on the piano. Yes, good for you. Wouldn't it be funny if I said like my, I don't know, when you play basketball, what's like your max jump or your vertical jump? My vertical jump so I could do a slam dunk. Not on my list. Let's see. Although my next list, if I won the lottery, there are some things that I could probably, like dislike my nose. I could fix that with the lottery. Get rid of my forehead wrinkles. If I really, really wanted to fix that, like permanently, I could do that with the lottery too. Oh, this one. I think we all have this. Stop the negative self-talk. Right? Negative self-talk. I've done that my entire life. I have done that weighing 50 plus pounds less than I am now. Still had the self-talk. I have done that pretty much my whole life, right? I think that's just something that we do. At least I do. Be a better listener. Okay. Now, one more. Now I need to think. See list above. Oh, there we go. Lauren, the size of my hands so I could play guitar too. Love it. Those are good ones. Those are good ones. Those are all for positive things. Mine are not so positive, right? Things, I don't know. I don't know what the last one is. I needed to put a last one there. So that's what I had on my list. I'm sure if I kept going, I would have many more things. So I know I'll add something else. I just don't know what it is. So news at 11 on that one. But there's something that's bothering me. I need to fix, and hopefully I can. This is too high. It needs to be more here. There's this trapped white space. Have you guys ever heard that terminology, trapped white space? So I have this space right here, and it's just kind of a big void because there's nothing above it. So this needs to come down a little bit. There we go. See, moving that just a tad, and this will end up bleeding off the page. Just a tad, but now I have that space up there, and it just kind of opened things up a little bit more. I still have the trapped white space, but it's better. Okay. There we go. Now, I need a date on here. Let's try something. I am afraid that if okay, where's that piece that I cut off? I'm going to try something. I want to try stamping the date in that same color ink, but I am worried that all those little orange dots are going to be distracting, and then it will just be weird. So I have that little extra paper, and sometimes if you're not sure about something, just do this. Just test it. Test it to see if you think you will like it, right? Because if I test it here and I don't like it, then no harm, no foul. But if I test it down there and I decide I don't like it, then foul. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, September 25th, 2021. Again, always good idea to test stamp first. Even if I knew I was going to like it, I'd want to test stamp first because I want to make sure I have the right date. And I'm not so concerned really about the day because who cares if this is the 25th or the 18th. You know, I'm probably not even really concerned about the month, but it's the year. I want to make sure that it didn't kind of accidentally reset itself and change the year because I guarantee you, when I was in my 20s, get rid of my forehead wrinkles would not have been on things I would change if I could, right? That would not have been on my list. So this is another one of those lists. It's kind of good to do maybe every couple of years because things change, right? Your perspective changes, things change. So you can do it again. There we go. Okay, September 25th, 2021. But we're using lots of inks today. Well, kind of. In a different ways. All right. So that is our second list. And let's go ahead and put that guy in. Miss Waddell, my eyesight. I have a lazy eye, so depth perception is not very good. This goes with your hand-eye coordination, so I could draw. Oh, very interesting. That's a good one. Stop the negative self-talk and the rest of the list is solved. You know what, Kim? Truer words have never been spoken, right? Exactly. Holy cow. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Such a wise woman you are, Kim. Such a wise woman. I don't know. Someone one day will figure out how to solve the negative self-talk problem, and that person will be the savior. They will be the one who changes the world. All right, here we go. There's list number 2. Okay, list number 3. List number 3 is lottery. Let's have fun with this one. If you won the lottery. So this is the, well, and really, just, you don't have to leave a comment on the video when it's over about this particular list. Just leave a comment. Leave a comment about this particular list or any list. Or just say hi, because that's how I draw the prize. All right, our third list is if I won the lottery. Oh, did I just put that paper away? I think I did. Remember when I pulled that paper out, the butterfly paper? Oh, okay. Where did it go? Do we see it? There's too many things. This is what happens when I don't put, oh, there it is, things away. All right, so this was going to go here. Now, oh, I don't know. Hang on for 1 second. I think now I'm going to change my mind. So I saw this blue up at the top, the blue floral, and went, I like that. And the blue floral actually really works as a nice contrast to the list that we just did, right? Because, ta-da, even though it's a one, I mean, they're separate lists, now things kind of coordinate a little bit better side to side. And they don't have to, because a lot of times I do lists that look totally different side by side, like this one, right? Those two, blah, right? You would never put those two together, but that's not about what I'm doing. I'm just making a list, and then the next day I make another list, and they don't have to look good together. But in this case, I want these two to look good together. So I'm going with that. And that's just that blue floral from Peaceful Heart. See how Peaceful Heart, it's a good generic. A lot of times, I mean, I like themed things, right? Like it's nice to have fall, it's nice to have winter and summer, but a lot of times in my lists, I just want something good and generic. So it's a good one for good and generic. All right. Let's grab this guy. Trim that to 4 3/4. That's kind of always what I do there, right? Oh, I need this again to do my background. I mean, my white. Next list, next week, what am I, oh, yeah, next week we do about last month, so I will, gosh, Lael, think about what you're doing. Okay, this one, yeah, this is gonna be, Golly, I have conversations out loud that I have in my head, and then I only say part of things come out of my mouth. You see, you don't hear the whole conversation that I'm having with myself in my head, like in that situation. So just get distracted. What I was thinking, what I was going to say is I need to do a list soon where I am doing the list directly on the insert itself. And then I was thinking to myself, oh yes, next week is the start of a new month. So next week I will do about last month, and about last month is always, I always do it directly on the page like that, about last month. So that's just what my little head was thinking. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get this down. Oh, I know what I'm going to use. So earlier when I said, oh gosh, now you know what I want to do. I'm going to do it. Because we're just playing. We're just playing. I'm going to get out some ink again. This time it's going to be Tattered Rose. Because I know Tattered Rose goes well with, Peaceful Heart because I used it before. So I'm going to take this off again and I'm going to do that little trick. We're going to ink the edges. I think that'll be a nice soft little accent on this one. Okay, but I need to change out my little domed applicator. Yeah, I definitely don't want to go from using the Faded Jeans, if that's what I used, to Tattered Rose on the same applicator. You don't want to do that because then you're going to get something other than Tattered Rose. You'll probably get purple, right? With pink and navy, maybe purple, probably. I don't know, let's see. Where'd that little strip go? Oh, okay, now this is when I don't know what I'm doing because oxides. Oxides actually, if you layer one on top of the other, as long as the bottom one is dried, the bottom layer, then I think you don't mix, right? So I don't end up with purple because both the bottom layer dried and I put the one on top. So you can actually see the Tattered Rose on top of the, you can actually see the Tattered Rose on top in that scenario. It didn't blend. You know, I am not an ink expert, so I don't know all those things about what to use to make it blend or not make it blend or to make the colors go together or lay on top of each other. But that's where that article I was telling you guys about at scrapbook.com, the one that I have linked at the bottom of the description of this video, where they do a really good job explaining the difference between distress oxides and then distress inks. I just like the oxides because I mostly do stamping with them. And like on the last list, on the changes, the things I would change, so like solid and I always get a really nice impression. And that's what I look for in an ink. But different strokes for different folks, right? Different inks for different things. Alrighty, there we go. Now let's see. It's just very subtle, right? I'll hold that up to the camera in a sec because you may not be able to see that. It is super, super subtle. Okay, see? All right, so Familia said, I just do it directly from the pad to the paper. And you can absolutely do that. Let's look at something related to that. Ink blending tools. These have changed a little bit over time. They used to be square or rectangular. Uh-oh. Hello? Did I lose? Okay, I'm frozen. I am frozen. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. Okay, that was weird. Did it freeze for you guys too? Okay, totally weird. Okay, so let's talk about that. So Familia said she did one thing and then Mandy asked a question. So let's talk about these a little bit. these have evolved over time. Originally, Ranger came out with a set, not a set, I'm sure I have them in here. They were rectangular. My back's to you, so I'm just looking to see if I have this. Where? Well, now let's talk evolution here. Why don't we just talk evolution? Because I have lots of different things. I'm not sure where the applicator is, but so the original version was like this. So it was rectangular, okay? And it was on a little applicator like this. The rectangle ones kind of give you the same effect as using the ink pad directly. So hold that thought for a second. So rectangle. Then they went to the circle. But the circle still had the hard edges. See that? So the circle still had, it was like a flat circle, right? Still had those hard edges. Well, actually, when we go way back, there were these, like the fingertip daubers, right? But what's interesting about the fingertip daubers, look at domed applicator, okay? Domed applicator. So very similar to where we are now with these. And some people still like these. You just put them on your finger and do the same thing. This, and then also using your ink pad directly. They all kind of gave you the same effect. They kind of gave you the same outcome in that you get sometimes, and I overdid it there on purpose, you get a very hard edge, okay? Like I said, I really did that on purpose to show you what I wanted to show you. You don't necessarily, you get a very crisp edge, maybe I should say, and nothing wrong with that. So you get a very crisp edge as opposed to more of a, let's see, hang on, let me get that off. As opposed to a little bit more of a blended edge, okay? See how it's a little bit softer? You see that? Up above, you have, well, that was a really like obvious example. But then right here, you have a little bit more of a crisp edge. And here you have a little bit more of a softer look, especially if you are blending. So this is where it's different, right? And this, we're just kind of doing the edges, so it all works. But if you are blending like we did before, let's see here. Don't want to show you that because that has some things I don't want you to see yet. But if I'm blending like this, you have a lot more flexibility to the, I would say, for the look that you're going for. If you want it to be soft, I think with this, that's really hard to do with your ink pad. But ink pad works well for doing the edge. It just depends on what kind of look you want and what technique you're going for. Oh, you know what would be fun? Okay, so now, totally just squirrel for a minute, but that would be kind of a fun way to do a list, would be to go on the paper first and do all of that blending, and then put your list down on that, because that'd give you kind of a neat edge. I like that nice sharpness between the stark white sharp and then the kind of fluffy cloud looking thing. All right, so there's a little 101. Don't look at that, don't look at that. Oh, that side's okay. That one needs to not be seen yet because there's some of my product ideas that I was just jotting down frantically last night. Oh, kind of. Anyhow, it's all good. Okay, here we go. Where are we? But too, it's all about what you have, and it's all about what you have in front of you. So, oh, I know, Mandy, wouldn't she be so proud of me? Not funny. Let me now. This is why mixed media and me do not play well in the same sandbox, because I get it all over my fingers. But here's the other thing. It's all about what you have, and it's all about, especially if you're traveling, what you have, right? If I'm traveling, there's no way I'm going to take this and like 16 little blenders. Well, I probably wouldn't take my ink with me anyway, because that just would be a lot to carry. But if you don't have one of these, then you know what? Using that directly, like, is it Natalie? I'm trying to remember. Natalie, is that your name? Or Familier? Is that your name? I know you've told me before, but I don't remember, so I'm sorry. Yes, so that was just kind of a fun little, it's funny, Vicki talked about this last night. That's just a fun little segue into those things. All right. Our list, lottery. Oh yes. Okay. So I need a title. This is what I was thinking. Golly, I'm just way off track. So I mentioned that scrapbook.com sent me something to play with. Cody did. Cody's awesome. Cody said, I think you'll be excited to see these again. And then I opened the box and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, so excited to see them again. So they're sticker books. They had sticker books. This is not the first time they've had sticker books. So these are sticker books, and you will see very quickly why I like them. Where's the one that I want? This guy. So their sticker books have all the things I love. Look at all those alphabet stickers, look at all those labels, and look at all the word strips. So they had these before. They made one big improvement in my, from my personal perspective, and I didn't even know they were coming out with new ones. And Cody said, try these out. And as soon as I opened them, I went, da! This is the improvement. The old ones that they had something going on up here that you would lose some of the stickers. So in some of the alphas, when you got up to the top, you would lose some of the stickers. So that's a rose gold. Hang on. Silver. That's not really silver. Let me look at this. Oh, that's gold. That's preppy. So I know I don't want gold. Yeah, let's do rose gold. This font that they have, I love. That lowercase font. So my title, and it's kind of flashy with the rose gold foil, will be lottery, if I won the lottery. So let's get our ruler and grab these. Ooh, put the lid back on that. Let's spell lottery. And yes, they're all going to be lowercase. Even though they're upper and lowercase, I'm not going to capitalize the L. Unless it looks too much like an I when I get the word down. Then we'll swap it, because it might look too much like an I. Sona, yes, we're still here. You made it. You made it. We're still here. And you know what? Here's the deal. You know, if you didn't make it, then you can always watch the replay. But yes, we're still live right now. Kylie, am I going to reorder the die cuts and ephemera from this collection? Peaceful Heart, is that what you mean? I have it on order. It may be sold out. Unfortunately, I'm sold out with American Crafts. Oh, Indian Summer. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Indian Summer. I sent an email last night to the owner of Pretty Little Studio and said, because you know what? They're a new manufacturer for me. I know I like it, but I never know sometimes what I think you guys will like, you don't like, and what I think you won't like, you love. Now, I knew I loved Indian Summer, but because it's brand new manufacturer, when I ordered a little bit lighter than I normally would, because I just, didn't know. And I already have a couple of other fall collections. So, yeah, I put it up yesterday. And then when I sent out the email saying that's what I was going to use, it sold pretty quick. So yes, I will be bringing more in. This is what I would recommend. If there's stuff right now that's on the website that you like, you should order it, check out. And then if you want to add more, then you can add more. You can tell me and I will add more as soon as it comes in. What I never know is there may be things that are on there now that are still in stock that may be out of stock, that Pretty Little Studio may be out of stock on. So that's why you're better off ordering what you can now, checking out, and then I can always add to your order after the fact. Oh, actually, that's nice. That pink is nice with that. Let's see. Let me see. Let me pull this up so you guys can see. See that rose? Oh, you can see it on my desk, the rose gold foil. So it's really pretty, but it's got a foil, obviously, but the rose gold is nice with this. Mary, this is from scrapbook.com. It is the Jewel sticker book. The Jewel sticker book. All right, so, oh, and somebody, hold on. The Dreamer sticker from Storyteller. Oh, perfect. And this is fun, you guys, when you do something like this. I have to have a drink of my big gallon jug of water because I have not had water in hours. So hang on. Okay, I'm gonna be guzzling for a while when we're done. Okay, sorry. Oopsie. Personal care, self-care, gotta do it, right? We gotta do it. Ottery. I knocked all those guys off. Where was I? Oh, I know. So for my title, I'm using the word lottery, but you don't have to, right? This, you could, like Lauren did. If you have a sticker that says dreamer or winner or anything like that, or I wish, or wishes, or hopes, or dreams, or, you know, whatever. You make work whatever you have. You don't always have to be super literal with your title, like I am here. So lottery will go right here. These are cardstock stickers, so they're gonna move, they're popping around on me just a tad. Yeah, so I should have not put them so low on the ruler. If I didn't put them so low on the ruler, they wouldn't be popping. Like popping tags, popping stickers. There we go, if I won the lottery. So I need to have a little line right here. Like that. Oopsie, I went a little low, but that's okay. I didn't mean to go that low. I need to continue it just a tad. Okay, lottery, and now we'll do if I won. If I won the lottery. Period. Okay, if I won the lottery. Now, the products that I'm going to play with on this one, it's kind of a Mod Podge of some things. That and these two. So this is the gold washi tape. And now, you know what? This may be, I don't know, this may get, we'll see, since I used rose gold, but there are other things I'm doing that could, well, anyhow. Then the Carefree stickers from Heidi Swap, because there are a couple things on here that I thought would be fun that I want to pull out. And then I pulled these little Journal Studio puffy stickers because I thought I might need just some little things to fill in a couple of spaces in a couple of places. So, ooh, like that bird could be cute. All right, so this jumped out at me, the good vibes, and then this is where the fun stuff happens. I thought both of those would be really fun. However, this is where the fun stuff happens. I don't know. It could work, but it would work. It was working when I thought I was using a different background. So, I mean, this could still work, right? Okay, before we do that, because then the good vibes, because you know, if you want to win the lottery, well, first of all, you have to play the lottery. If you want to win the lottery, here's my tips on winning the lottery, even though I've never won the lottery. My tips on winning the lottery. Number one, play the lottery, right? Play the lottery. Bye, Diane. Yes, you got to play the lottery first. I live in Utah. We don't have the lottery. So unless I drive out of state or buy a lottery ticket when I travel, my chances of winning the lottery are slim to none. Unless one of you send me a lottery ticket, and that'd be so nice of you. And if I did win, I would split it with you. Not if won, but when I won. It's going to happen. Yes, Susie, let's be positive. Let's send positive, good vibes. And let's make it happen. All right. Yes. Oh, I know what's wrong. I'll do it in a minute. So I'm going to make this work. It's something totally different, and I am going to make it work. So let's just pop it down because I think it's going to work right about, I don't want to do half because half is weird. I don't want to do half. So let's try it right there. And then maybe this down here, but I need washi. Now, I don't know, let's just see. Now we're going pretty flashy, so I don't know if this will work. It's probably not going to. In fact, I know it's not going to. I'm going to use this, the pink grid. So pink grid I have listed in the description of the video. I also had the tiny trees because for Kim, I was going to use pink grid and tiny trees together, but I didn't. So the pink grid, in my opinion, is, I think it flies under the radar. It's one of my favorites. Just because it's just a good, you know, it just gives you a little pattern. It's just a good, and it works. I just did like the horsey giddy up thing. All right, here we go. There. That works well with Peaceful Heart. Can you play the lottery online? Wendy, I don't think so. Because I don't know, can you play the lottery in a different state online? I don't think so. Yeah, no lotteries in Utah. No gambling, no horse racing. Yeah, nothing like that in this little state. That is an influence, in my opinion, what do they say? All opinion, no. I don't know, when you get like the editorial in the newspaper, all opinions shared are not the opinions of the editor or publisher. This is my opinion. In my opinion, it is an influence of the LDS Church, which is fine. But yes, no lotteries, no gambling, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But we can drive to Idaho. Idaho is just a couple of hours away, or we can drive to Wendover, Nevada. You can gamble there, and then you could do the lottery there. But no lotteries in Utah. So this is a fun story. I don't remember if I've told this one before. Years ago, when I first started out in my career, I worked for a company that was later purchased by AT&T. So that was a cell phone company called Cellular One. And I started working for them right out of college. A couple years later, purchased by AT&T. So while I was working at AT&T, a friend of mine that lived in Washington State, I'm just going to tell this story for a second, lived in Washington State. Her name is Jana. We're still friends on Facebook. She had bought a lottery ticket and totally forgot all about it. And one day she's at a convenience store. She had a hankering for some ice cream, so went and bought an ice cream bar and was paying the convenience store. She opened her wallet to get her money out, and she saw the lottery ticket. And she's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. She pulled out the lottery ticket when she got home and checked it. $7 million. She won the freaking lottery and realized she had when she was buying an ice cream at the convenience store. That little ticket was just in her wallet. Isn't that cool? And you know what? She's the most, was back then. Other than Facebook friends, I don't, really stay in touch with her anymore. But it totally didn't, and you know what? Let's be honest anymore. Don't get me wrong. $7 million I would love, but it's not like $7 million 20 years ago or 30 years ago, right? Inflation gets on you. And especially when you have to give half of it to the government. Because that's what happens in the U.S. If you win the lottery, you have to give, I think, about half to the government. But anyway, it totally didn't change her. She was awesome. So, because it does change some people, right? If I won the lottery, yes, this is where the fun stuff happens. If I win the lottery, we're having a party, right? All of us, we're having a party. I know. And I can't really write this in my list because this would be a lot harder to explain in my list. Every once in a while, I talk about if I had all the money in the world, we would all be together in Hawaii because it's my dream. That's where I want to be. We'd be in Hawaii. We'd be in this ginormous house. And it's a dream because really you couldn't fit all the people, but that's okay. And we'd be up on, we'd be in Maui. We'd be up a little bit high. So we'd be all the windows. There'd be huge doors that would just open in the house. And we'd have the breeze coming in and you could hear the seagulls and you could hear the waves crashing. And I close my eyes because I can envision that. But we'd all be there because I won the lottery and I would take you all with me, right? Wouldn't that be fun? We can dream. Okay, now, Mega Millions online. Interesting. So what's interesting though is I wonder if in Utah you can do that because like if you go to Napa Valley and you go to a winery, you can ship wine home, but you can't ship wine home to Utah. And there are a number of states that you can't do that. Oh yes, this little bird needs to go in. This little bird would be cute on there, right? There we go. If I won the lottery, that little bird, but I don't know if the bird goes there. Does it go here? Does it go here? Maybe it goes here. All right, let's talk about things that face a certain direction, okay? Things that face a certain direction. So this little bird is obviously facing the left. For me, it doesn't work if I put this bird here because it's facing that way. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like it's pooping on lot. No, it's not. But it's turning its back on this. So in my world, the way that I think about things, if something faces a direction, then it needs to be facing something instead of flying off into oblivion. So that's why this little guy would be here or here and not facing the other direction. So I'm not quite sure where he will go. I think he needs to go up here because it's kind of playing up here. All right. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, there's some cute little, this color now. Interesting. So look at the color that's actually getting pulled out of this. And I didn't intend to do this, but the color that's coming out is the green. We pulled a little bit of pink here, but that green's pulling out because some of you may have been looking at that going, that doesn't even go at all. Well, it's got some of the green tones and it has a little bit of the pink tones. But now when we pull in that green there, then that green kind of all goes together, at least in my book. I mean, I'm not the expert, just in my book, I think it looks good. All right, so, ooh, maybe one of these little flowers. So these are totally different collection. This is Journal Studio. This is nothing to do with Peaceful Heart that I'm working with or Carefree that I'm working with. You can mix and match your stuff, right? Yeah, that doesn't really go. But we know this one will, right? Because it's that same green. No, don't like it there. What about we going there? And then I need a little bit more green in here, right? I need something here because I have green. We need a little bit more green just to kind of balance it out a little bit. So, well, I have, oh, this little green heart could work. How about right there? There we go, kind of pulls it all together. All right, if I won the lottery, this is the fun one. Well, they're all fun, but this is fun, right? Francis said, if I won the lottery, I'd buy a home overlooking the ocean in Hawaii. We just returned from Honolulu and had a great time with the family and friends for the week. Francis, absolutely. That's one of the things on my list. I would buy a home on the ocean. Hold on. Colleen, what did I miss about the lottery? Hold on a minute. I missed something about, found a ticket in my purse the other day that was going to expire in October and checked. Oh, good for you, $2 winner. Okay, I missed something. So I'm gonna keep going. I missed something about the mean clerk. All right, if I won the lottery, this is what I would do. There's lots of things. So I would buy an RV and visit all of the national parks. I talked about that last week, didn't I? Yep, we'll do that anyway one day. Maybe it's just the size of the RV, right? Maybe I'd buy like the shows on HGTV where that's like an $8 million, not really an $8 million RV, but it's basically people sell their homes and then have an RV because it's like a house, right? So buy a super big RV and visit all the national parks. And then also buy a smaller little thing that we could tow behind us and then go with. Oh, Kylie, I love that. Kylie said, if I win the lottery, I'd restore my childhood home. Lovely. I would do lots of volunteering. I used to a lot. I was in the junior league years ago, after I was married, but before we had kids. And junior league in the States is a women's organization, a philanthropic women's organization. And I did lots of volunteer work there. And then we had kids, and then over time, different work. And then now my business, and I should say I don't make time for it because I could. I just don't make time for it. So that is one of the things I would do. I would just do lots and lots of volunteering. I would hire a personal chef and a personal trainer. Now, I kind of joke because I'd say that I don't cook, right? So Nick's kind of my built-in personal chef, Nick. My husband. Okay, I just remembered something. Oh, so Nick and I, a lot of times, so usually in the morning on Saturdays, he is getting up to go golfing, and then I am, I already know what my lists are going to be, but I'm kind of filling in some blanks of things that would be on my list. And I said, Nick, so this is what I'm going to talk about in my list today. And he said, okay, great. And I said, so here's one, if I won the lottery. And he said, oh yes, Kim, a personal chef named Jack. Yeah, another built-in one, our older son. If he lived here, I could just hire him, right? So I said, if I won the lottery, and he goes, oh, that's easy. He said, if I won the lottery, I'd call my office and tell them to come get their car out of my driveway before I got rid of it. He has a very nice perk. He has a company car. So he said, I'd call them and tell them to come get their car out of my driveway, basically saying that he is going to quit his job, right? All right, what else do we have? Yes, personal chef and personal trainer. I would hit all of the places on my travel bucket list. I really like to travel. Nick and I really like to travel. And so I have many places that I would like to go on my travel bucket list. I'd hit them all. And then I'd add more, right? I would do lots and lots of traveling. I would buy a house overlooking the ocean. I would not be living where I do. Well, I shouldn't say that. I like Utah. Nick loves to ski, so my chances of ever having a permanent home somewhere, oh, well, let's be honest. If I don't win the lottery, I'm never going to, I shouldn't say never. If I don't win the lottery, the chances of us having a home overlooking the ocean are probably pretty slim. Because it would be a second home, because, well, even if it was a first home. Anyhow, Nick loves to ski, and I don't ever foresee us moving from somewhere that he likes to ski. So that's what I would do. I would buy a house overlooking the ocean. I would adopt a school. I would find a school that needed help. Probably an inner city school. But I would adopt a school and make sure they had everything they needed. I just saw something. I read something yesterday, and this is sad because I don't remember who it was. It was a gentleman who had been very successful in life. I don't know if he was sports or music or what it was. So if anybody knows, pop in. That he went back to his childhood school, I think it's middle school, and I think he grew up in, an inner city school. He put in a free in the school grocery store and clothing store, basically, so that all the kids would always have food. They could just go to the grocery store inside the school, and they could always have clothing. And I thought that was really cool. So it's really neat to see people go, back to their roots like that, and once they're successful and do something good, right? So I would adopt a school. I don't know what school. If I win the lottery, I'll tell you, because I don't know. I would always have fresh flowers because they make me happy. Fresh flowers make me happy. A masseuse. Sona? Okay, I totally missed that. I would rename my masseuse Bison for no reason at all. If you win the lottery, your masseuse would be named Bison, and your masseuse wouldn't have a choice. That's his new, or her, right? Maybe it's a her. That's their new name. That's so funny. All right. Let's see. Fresh flowers always. Oh, and of course, and this is not very much fun. You'd have to invest some of it. Because, right? You don't want to be one of those people that wins the lottery and then next thing you know, their house is in foreclosure because they were not smart with their money. Of course, you'd invest some of it because you know what? and we never defined what the lottery is. I mean, this could be $10. It could be a billion. Well, half a billion, right? There were some that got up to half a billion. You'd want to invest it because you would want your money to work for you, and then you wouldn't want to use it all, right? Wouldn't you want to have some of it for your family, or to be able to donate to a foundation, or donate to cure cancer, or whatever it was? So I'd want to invest some of it. Oh, Karen, I love that. Karen said in the Netherlands, we mostly have always fresh flowers in the house. I bet you do. And I bet a lot of time it's tulips. Certain time of the year, yeah. I've been to Amsterdam a couple times teaching, and always missed it when it's tulip season. So I will go back one day for that. I will. And I'm going to call you. I'm going to come stay at your house. Yeah, no. Oh, here's another one, right? I think remain anonymous, right? You might need to remain anonymous. I mean, maybe some people could know, although I'd have a hard time remaining anonymous if we went with what I mentioned at the beginning. If we all went to Hawaii, I took all of you to Hawaii with me so we could all hang out and craft together and list in person and have the masseuse and have our beverage of choice and have all the chocolate or fruit or whatever it is we wanted to eat. So it'd be a little bit hard. But maybe I just said my business did really well. Yeah, and business would have to do really well for that to happen, right? Really well. We can dream. Here's another thing I would do. It kind of relates to that. I would throw a big party. Throw a big party. And then maybe people wouldn't even know why I was throwing a big party. I was just throwing a big party. Hi, Debbie. Welcome, welcome. I would create education accounts for potential, because I don't have them yet. I have to write it this way. Potential future grandkids, right? So I would want to have that set for them so that their education was covered. And you know what? Here's the thing. Education could be whatever education they want it to be. That's why I didn't call it college accounts. I just lost an earring. Whatever education they want it to be. All right. So next up. Oh, I would, of course, you got to take care of the peoples. Let's see. How do I say this? Oh, gift some to family. Right? Because you got to share the wealth. Well, in that case, literally share the wealth. I would have a full-time housekeeper and an assistant. And my assistant would do whatever I told him or her that they needed to do. If I said, hey, I just made a big mess, I need you to clean that up, they'd say, Lael, I would be so happy to do that for you. I would love to. Or if I said, hey, I need some new fresh flowers, will you go order them for me, or will you go pick them up? And they would say, Lael, that would make me so happy to get you fresh flowers. But I'd also take care of them. I mean, all of the people that I would hire, the personal chef, the personal trainer, the full-time housekeeper, and an assistant, they would like to work for me because I treat them really well. I would make sure that they were very well taken care of because they would be important parts of my life. All right. Oh, Susie said some states don't allow you to stay anonymous. Interesting. Oh, Lauren. Okay. So it's interesting that you said that. Lauren said support dozens of Kickstarters every month. If you don't know, a Kickstarter, that's the way some businesses these days, they will set up a Kickstarter online. They have a great idea for a product. Sometimes they have a prototype. Sometimes they have already actually created the product, but they need to be able to have money to take it to market, to have it produced, or more inventory. So they'll do a Kickstarter, and it's kind of like crowdfunding. So different people will invest money, and it could be $10, it could be $50, $100. I think they all have different, maybe they have different minimums, but you can invest in the company in small amounts like that so they can kickstart their business, which is very cool. So when I was thinking about my list this morning, and then I totally forgot to add it to my list, but along the same lines, but to help some startups, to help some people that want to start a business. I was very fortunate when I started my business that I didn't have to put it on a credit card because I'd been working at it for a while. So I didn't really quit my job and start my business formally until I was ready. So I didn't have to take out a loan, which to me was really important. So I would love to be able to do something like that for other businesses that are starting. If they needed a little bit of seed capital to get going, I would love to do that. All right, so I think we're almost done. The only thing I need to do, this is a lot of run-on. It's really hard to read, right? Nothing really stands out. So it's been a while since I've done this. I like to get out my colored pencils. It's still not swatched though. This is the problem. So this takes a little bit while I try to find a color. And I know I'm going to go for a pink. So I need a light pink. And what they look like here is never what they really look like. And my assistant, I would say, would you get on it and swatch my pencils already? Okay, not an assistant. She is not an assistant, but I do have a part-time employee. But I would never ask her to pick up my mess. Although she would just totally do it. But I have very, I don't know. I have very, in my head, clear lines on what I should ask people to do and then what I should do myself. Like cleaning up my mess. I should not ask someone else to do that. All right, so that could work. But I don't know, maybe if I got to the point where I was a billion, I'd say, here's $1 million for you. Now do everything I say. That one, maybe. Those are all really the same, aren't they? Maybe this one. But it's funny though, because I was looking for pink and none of those, that one is a little bit more pink. Oh, that's a pink too. Now if I go really light, I think I might need that one. Let's just do that one. That's kind of like inks. That's why you have a lot of different ones, because you need a lot of different colored pencils when you're looking for the right pink or the right orange or the right yellow. Or I'm not picky about colored pencils though, because I don't use them for things that artistic people use them for, like watercoloring or something really nice. So I just buy them wherever I can find them. So I'm not the one to go to ask about what a good, nice quality colored pencil is. All right. So then what I want to do, I want to just highlight some of these things like volunteering, right? I want that to pop out. Volunteering. We want personal chef and trainer, right? We'll highlight those. Travel bucket list. We'll highlight those, travel bucket list. So that just makes those things kind of pop a little bit. If I had ink, I could do the same thing. House, we'll say house. I better do that whole thing. It'll be weird if I do house ocean. House overlooking the ocean. Fresh flowers. I skipped the school because basically I could now start highlighting everything. Invest. Party. Education accounts, gift, housekeeper, and assistant. Okay, so now that makes them, you can make it, let me pull it up though, because it might be a little bit harder to see. There. So you can see now, a little bit harder to see when I'm on the, when I'm down low, but now you can see it's really subtle. That color that I picked is super subtle. It's kind of this background to the pink grid, but it makes those things pop. So when you're looking at that list, your eyes naturally will, actually, we need to do national parks too. Your eyes are naturally going to be drawn to the things that are highlighted. So it just kind of breaks up all of that writing. When I do a run-on list, and that's what I call that one, that one's a run-on list where I'm just writing. It's nice with the run-on list to somehow be able to separate. So I also did a really subtle separation by adding those little dots between each one, but they're black, so a little bit harder to see. When I've done other types of run-on lists in the past, I have, let's see. where's one of these? Oh, this one. This was a run-on list. And I used the little, there we go. I use a lot of these yellow heart stickers. So I used yellow heart stickers in between some of my summer favorite things to help break up that run-on list. So just a different type of list, doing a run-on versus a list that has bullets. All right, friends, so let's go ahead and add this one into our book. Now, see, so look, they coordinate, right? They don't really match. They're two separate lists, but they coordinate. So that's a way for some of you that like the look of a single page list, but you have a hard time when things don't completely kind of go together, coordinate, pull in some different things to make the two go together. Okay. I see in the chat some advice about lottery tickets and to sign them. It sounds like there's some horror stories about people that haven't signed their lottery tickets, which is such a shame, right? If you win it, put it in a safety deposit box, change the phone number, lawyer up, and cash it. Love it, Leslie. Leslie, you sound like you have experience in that. Is there something I don't know about you? Did I need to know that about you? Do I have another friend that won the lottery? No, they say that yes, you get a lawyer, get an accountant or a financial advisor. Call a lawyer, create a trust to claim the lottery and tell no one. I know, right? Isn't that sad? Because people come out of the woodwork and you just can't trust people. It's hard, but you can't. Leslie, you just said he. You did not deny it. Leslie, if you won the lottery and you didn't tell me, you're going to be in big trouble. All right, friends. Oh, I need to date this, right? I need to date it again because I don't really have enough room for a date. Let's do just right here. September 21. Now, I know I already have September 21 over here, but I like to date all of my lists because to me it's important. All right, there we go. Let's do this. I am going to turn off the lights. Oh gosh, we're almost 4 hours in. Woo! Good thing those last two went a little bit quicker than the first one, huh? All right, that's okay, because guess what? I have no timetable when I am here with you guys Saturday. I'm here with me. I said, let me, okay. I think my brain needs water. Oh, dang it. I just remembered I forgot to have my mid-morning snack. Okay, sorry. That was important, but that's okay. We are going to flip the camera, okay? 1, 2, 3. That mid-morning snack is an important part of what I'm doing, but that's okay. When Leslie randomly picks you up and tells you to pack, you will know she has won the lottery. Yes, she'll bring her husband Sean with her. Okay, so, oh, I know. I got sidetracked for a minute in my head. Let's just get us straight because lots of times when I do that, we're crooked. Yes, so like I said, I have no timetable on Saturdays. My time is to hang out with you guys because I enjoy it. Part of it's selfish because this is like my personal creative time, but it's also my time to socialize with you guys. And I love what we do. I love that we can all get together from different parts of the world. We're all different. Some of us a lot of us, most of us will probably never meet in person, and maybe our paths would never have even crossed in person. And maybe if we met in person prior to this, we're like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, and never really struck up a conversation about what we would do if we won the lottery, or how we would change the world, or how we would change ourselves, or what our favorite breakfast cereal is. But those are all really fun things that we get to talk about and do when we're together on Saturdays. And I love that. And I love that you guys get to know each other in the chat. And I love that you ask about how everyone's doing and what so-and-so's doing. And Karen, how's your printer? And all the things that you guys talk about that I miss so much in the chat. So thank you again for Saturday. Thanks for letting me talk your ear off and get silly and talk about weird things and squirrel. And that's just, I love it. So we will be together next Saturday. Next Saturday is October 2nd. 30 days, half September, April, okay, 30. Today's the 25th. Right? 2nd, I think. I don't know. October 1st or 2nd, 2021, whatever it is. I think it's the 2nd. We'll be together. So I will be here again next Saturday. If you guys want to join me, then join me. One of our lists next Saturday, because next Saturday will be the first of a new month, will be about last month. So that's when I'll do my little shtick that I do about documenting the prior month and how we do it. October 2nd. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, I was just trying some very far away. Oh my gosh, Suzanne is just getting over COVID. Oh goodness, Suzanne, I hope you're doing okay and taking care of yourself. And hopefully, I mean, you're good-ish because you're here, so that's a good sign, right? Let's see. Okay, guys. Yes, if you are not in the Facebook group, join us because it's fun. Just go to Facebook and search for Lail by Mail. You'll see a page in a group. Click the group. Well, you can do the page too, but the group is where. And I'm going to end, and I'm going to go take some pictures of some of my spreads, and I need to get back to start sharing them in the group. The prize, don't forget about the prize. So this week, leave a comment as soon as we're done. And while you're leaving a comment, just check that little like, because that's important. You'll like the video. Leave a comment on the video anytime between now and next Saturday morning, and I will draw a prize based on any of the comments, all random. You can tell me what you would do if you won the lottery, or you could tell me things you would change about yourself, or you could tell me favorite fall foods. I had to remember that one for a second. What one of your favorite fall foods is, or you can just say hi. And I'll randomly draw a comment. The prize for next week is one of Miss Andy's little prize packs that has a stamp in it, and her little sticker, and her little bag, and a pin of her little sloth. I can't remember his name. Anyhow, okay, friends, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Karen, for you, I think you're probably getting pretty close to Sunday, yeah? If you are international, I know some of you, we have Australia sometimes, so you're already on Sunday, and you've enjoyed your Saturday, so enjoy the rest of your Saturday, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you guys next Saturday. And if not, hope to see you soon.